intro. Yeah, there's still a bunch to go. There's still more to go. The camera's a little, we're gonna be on a little deck of a pitching ship here. I shouldered the camera and it went. I'm using one of these little small rig. It's like a clamp, and they got the little ball like dog bones, and you swivel it around, and then you tighten the thing down. And the main ball that it like grabs onto, the shoulder joint, if you will, got super loose, and the camera was just swinging around everywhere. I've been saying this for, I don't know, 2 years now. I need a more fixed position for this guy to where it can just, because this is where it sits. This isn't quite right, but I'm at the same time, I'm afraid to touch it because it's aiming reasonably correctly. Camera 3 is on the same type of amount. Woo! We're back over here. Just strap it to my head like a GoPro. It's heavy. That camera is reasonably heavy. And it runs off of the power supply for a laptop. So I would, and it has a microphone plugged into it and an HDMI out, and there'd be a whole bunch of cableage coming off of me. I'm gonna do this. I have one thing to do before we get to like actual stuff, because Amazon showed up. I should have gotten a little container to put all the screws in. It's not like you don't have thousands of hours of reference for reorientation of a new mount. I mean, yeah. I'm thinking about doing something silly, and that silliness is getting a Zool too. Well, I mean, if you can find one. Late July has come and gone, and any of us waiting for restock from Element, that hasn't happened. Well, look at those lemons. I wanted this set of wheels, and the only way to get this set of wheels was to buy them with tires. We've definitely tested these. A-Main has them in stock. No, they don't. No, they don't. Don't say that to me. Don't say that to me. I'm literally. Yeah, there's nothing showing. Stream Deck's asleep. Configure Stream Deck. I guess profile 1. Yeah. Nope. There you go. I'm on A-Main right now. And, well, I don't want to go into my account on the internet. Because so help me God, if they're doing it again, and I'm getting back ordered because it's in the wrong warehouse, it's going to go beyond a rant. I'll lose my mind right now. Waiting for stock. Back order. That's not it. What is there? Okay. It now thinks that my right monitor is my center monitor. I'll just minimize everything off of that. Back order. We will notify you. Don't come at me and say those are in stock. I will absolutely lose it. Oh no! I would like to say we're building these, but I need the wheels for an unrelated project. So if anybody wants these eau de garbage tires, they are free. Otherwise, they're going to go in the free bin. I ain't never going to use these. I need a Zool chassis and a Gatekeeper cage. You should have shopped like 3 years ago when that kind of stuff was readily available. Okay, let's hope y'all heard it. That's a pretty big tire for a trailer. Let's see if I can extrapolate this one manually. Yeah. Only the finest quality fasteners. Hey! Jimbo with the 10. You mean hasn't had element parts for a minute? Doubt they will ever get a shipment. Well, I spent like $80, so they better. And I check Associated every now and again as well. They don't have any. What tires? More rock terrain crawler tires, 110 by 45. We definitely like that. That looks so familiar to me. I'm 99% sure we junk viewed these with the. That's not bad. That's actually a fair, decent foam. That's not bad. I would put that at a medium soft. I might try to keep those for myself. Nobody's gonna take these. We'll just do this. The noise canceling will cancel it out. Yeah. One of them bounced all the way back. It's right here. That's not fair. So, anyway. Oh, let me put the other part of Amazon away. No, it's all clogged. 9 silver hours. We'll put those over there. There's another spot. Hey, Mr. Hurley. I almost threw these away. It was like 3 items delivered, and I said, no, you didn't. And sure enough, these were jammed down in the bottom of the gigantic mailer. Okay. Because I need those hubs for another set of wheels that I need to take apart. Let us begin in earnest. What I've done, where I was, is I was digging through the bin of contributions, where people have just on their own accord sent things. And I said, I believe that I can take what we have in this bin. I can make a little bit of contribution of my own, and we can get something together. This is my last set of double cartons. Before these were available on Amazon, I ordered 10 sets of these directly from Mias, and this is the last set. So any future Mias nylons I got to remember to order shafts for them as well. Mias Portal still best budget axle? Yeah, for sure. And I would say the leader in straight value is still Mias as well. The nylon straights. The nylon straights at 100 for the AR-45 width and 110 for Capra width. You can't be beaten. The mold work is good. Everything about them is good. What thoughts on the Enjoyer H10 axles? Are those the Planet axles, the $200 a set? I'm not going to make any declarations. I've not held them in my hands, but $200 a set is a situation where you basically have to compare them to like Vanquish. You can't compare them to Mias or anyone else putting out a clone axle, a knockoff axle, a non-name brand axle, because $200 a pair is lofty. We have tried the durometer. Someone asked if there'd be a point in using a durometer. There's one right here. It was right here on the bench. Well, durometer. The problem is, this is a Shore A durometer. We need a, I think it's Shore C. Our firmest compound of rubber will be way down at the bottom of the needle. This thing is for testing like the wheels on a shopping cart. Like the rubber mat I'm standing on, you could test with the Shore A meter. But I need the Shore, I think it's Shore C, which is the one that goes down to like gum erasers, pencil erasers, stuff like that. And those are expensivo, like $400. You could have a Shore C by the seashore. The Rhinos are $260. Yeah, but I would never recommend anybody buy the Rhinos when the Mias Capras exist. I have a set of the Rhinos. There's no discernible difference in quality. They just have that giant link riser to go on the whatever, the W1, UA1. I don't see any place for planet. No, not planetary axles, planet axles. And I think they call them that because the pumpkin is just a ball. It's just round. That's my. I'm just assuming. I have no idea. But no, they are definitely not planetary axles. They're just called planet axles for whatever reason. I've had an Enjoyer order stuck in customs in LA for like a month. Ooh. Apparently that's what happened to my Boom Racing. And then eventually it got sent back to China. Fighting this axle a little bit. I wanted the Rhinos for my W1. Well, it'll have that high link mount, which you kind of need on the Rhino because the UA1 and the W1 are like, still to this day, that front geometry. I don't know what that is. What length links and or modifications are needed when using Mias 1.9 Capra isokinetics on a VS410? I couldn't tell you. That's a big axle to be putting on a C channel, and I've never done it. I know that I can say with some confidence, you will be changing every link. There won't be any link that is the same. Whereas if you were to go from these Mias nylons, frame rate's a little weird. If you were to go from these to an F10, all the bolt mounting points are exactly the same. Yeah, order Capra links. That's one way to do it. But then you're not going to know what your wheelbase is going to be. I've seen some setups that use SOA with link mounts to bring the upper links down to a more traditional geometry. Now, do you mean that like what I had to do the opposite of here, where I had to go mounting bracket, spacer out, and then a nut and a bolt to get them out wide like this? Because what I've decided to do, what we're going to do right about now is, I mean, not explicitly recommended. I'm about to torture myself with another custom SCX24 build. Ugh. I have a 300 FPS Nerf blaster coming from China to Cali. A little worried about it. I'm in your neck of the woods kind of in your neck of the woods today. I'll be passing by Sunday on my way out if you still need your body painted. I mean, I only have like, jeez, how many unpainted bodies? Well, I bought a couple more, so a lot. If you get a pad of mailer today, it's from me and it's stuff for you. Yeah, I definitely haven't gotten it yet. But everything Postal Service has been slow. I think we have everything we need. Now, the biggest question is, so again, digging through the bins, somebody can tell me what these are a clone of? When are you getting rid of California and moving to the East Coast? You'd have to kill me. You'd have to kill me and you'd have to drag my dead body. I would rather burn in a fire in California than live on the East Coast. It's humid. It's super, super, super crowded, at least everywhere I've ever been. And the places that aren't super, super, super crowded are even more humid. No, it's a land of nightmares with which I have no desire. I'm also as West Coast as they come. You guys have weather over there, like you have winter. You can miss me with that. I tell everyone, never move to California. Come and visit here, but don't move here. Living here is one of the most expensive places you can live in the world. They're like, Manhattan, shut up. The apartments down the street are $3,500 a month, okay? The median home value in California now is $800,000. You have to be born here. Don't move here. And if you're born here, you're stuck. Because, and this is what I've put, Massachusetts is actually worse. Worse in what way? Weather-wise? Yeah. Cost of living? Not even close. Here's the deal. Here's why you can't leave California if you're me. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me. From where I'm standing right now, Disneyland is 1 hour away. The beach is 1 hour away. If the traffic is nice, the LA Convention Center is 1 hour away. I can be to Petco Park in San Diego under 2 hours. I can be to Big Bear in the mountains in an hour. I can be to Horseman's Park in an hour. I can go watch the Coachella Valley Firebirds in about an hour. Everything's an hour away. That's why they built this place in this wretched hellhole. Also, yes, it's like 103 degrees outside right now. Right? That's what it does in the summer in the desert. But in the winter, we have, you could count on this many fingers the number of days where the daytime high is below 50. So we have no heat. I understand how people leave California. I can't leave California. I am too much California. How often do you go to the beach, Petco Park, realistically? The wife will be in San Diego in less than a month. And I don't like to go places, so it's not about me. That's what the single raccoons of America, that's what they have to take into account. Most times, I'm not going anywhere that I want to go. I want to stay here. But sometimes, there These things called obligations. Has anyone seen or heard the review on the new Deluxe ESC? Oh, for Christ's sake. Is this a Sussman thing? Oh, I gotta keep my cursing down. The Deluxe C60 is the Hyper Apex. It's the exact same speed control. It's the exact same one. So choose who you want to spend $110 with. Do you want to give it to Deluxe or do you want to give it to the guy at Hyper? It's the exact same speed control. The differences would be however they authored the firmware. They are both on Escape 32 architecture. Escape 32 is owned by someone. That's why their speed controls cost $110 because they have to license them. They are licensing the Escape 32 architecture. So the Deluxe C60 and the Hyper Apex mechanically, physically, are the exact same speed control. Identical. How do I know? I talked to the guy at Hyper. It was that simple. Exact same thing. The software will be different. Yes. So don't go off sloom bang saying, "Oh, this is the best speed control in the world," because this one has been out for 2 years. Deluxe just bought their license now, presumably, and that's why they cost more than buying an unlicensed one off of Amazon or AliExpress or what have you. Anyway. My question is, why is it everything west of the Mississippi is more hobby-friendly for any hobby, it seems? And Southern California is not great for it, honestly. I'm 10 minutes from Huntington Beach, and I haven't gone in over a year. Oh, I'd be at the beach weekly. Doesn't matter if you're East Coast or West Coast, home is the best place. That's true. Who dies and made the raccoon a SAR? I don't know. Yucca Valley. That's too hot. I love Boomslang's breakdowns and in-depth experiments. I'm just going to say that there is where you and I differ. I don't like his presentation. And I'm not one to speak ill of anyone. I like what I like and I don't like what I don't like, and I don't feel like I have to defend either of them. Has anyone run a Gecko 3660 in the heat yet? I ran my new one the other day and it got pretty warm. What would you classify as pretty warm? And if I remember correctly, Gorilla Design is in Arizona, so you're not talking about heat, you're talking about running it in hell. So, were you running it in the hell dimension that is Arizona? Because also, when you say warm, was that one of these, or was that a trained one of these? Because I'm accurate to about 5 degrees. And I spent most of my career not with tiny toy cars that go slow, but tiny toy cars that go fast. So yeah, like American B2 says, doesn't run stuff past 160 degrees. 130? 130 is not hot. 130 is kind of operating temperature territory. That should be absolutely fine. As I've somewhat laid out in the past, if you go to put your finger on it and you instinctively recoil, it's too hot. If you can hold your finger on the end bell or the can for any amount of time, it's not too hot. I'm tuning, particularly with like the pickle, I'm tuning for maximum efficiency. So less heat is better, but that's a very singular instance. You can always move to North Dakota with a wind chill reportedly can get as low as minus 60. No. No. Probably felt 130 to touch. Yeah, but I have, the youngest calls them dead hands. I'm assuming, because I'm not a welder, So I'm assuming it's from all the years of working on the lathe. Things get really, really hot, and then I grab them with my fingies. So to me, really, really hot starts later. Time is a construct, and if life is a simulation, it won't really matter. I need to put a fan on my C2. My new wheel and tire setup is $492 each. Yowzas! And my 380 revolver was getting fingerprint removal hot. That's proper hot. Is it me, or is the ocean an exfoliating scrub? You get in and out. I've been to the ocean once and came back and felt like I jumped in the cesspool with how I broke out everywhere in my body. That's probably more what's in the water. My dad was a welder. My wife said he had asbestos hands. Yeah. I just returned a Dickie BX12. I don't know what that is. I run a Unity in my class 3 and haven't had any issues. 3S. Next level? Ring the bell. I need a bell. I need a ding, 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 ding. What happened to that cowbell? Oh, if only I knew where I'd put the cowbell. We would dingle the bell. Don't buy Furatech, everybody. Don't buy Furatech. Until Furatech could do a thing where you set down 5 Furatech boxes in front of me. Random. Pick 5 Furatech ESCs or combos. Set them down in front of me. And I will hook all 5 of them up, and none of them act weird. All 5 of them act exactly the same. Then I will rescind that, and I would say, you can now buy Furatech now. I've not had 2 Furatech products behave exactly the same. Had 2 lizards, they acted differently. Had 2 pythons, they acted differently. I've had 1 Unity. It really goes its own way. I'm just drilling holes. The parts that I have accumulated don't kind of they don't perfectly line up. Almost there. Almost there. That'll do a little bit of scuffing. My dad was a welder steelworker. His hands felt like a 50 grit belt sander with rocks in them. Yeah. Don't Furatech. Don't buy Vanquish, but do buy the ISDT-70. Don't listen. Well, number 1, step 1, never listen to the raccoon. The raccoon may give you a pearl of wisdom. He may lead you astray. And the problem is, you can never tell which one it is until it's too late. So, all of the requisite grains of salt from raccoon-based recommendations. All those fusions sound slightly different, though. That they do. No 2 fusions have the same startup tone. I have multiple of all of them, and they all do indeed sound different. Some are loud, some are very quiet. I was in Florida a week in the ocean every day, and my skin felt stripped. Got back home, and the next week everywhere broke out. It was a freaky experience. Ugh. And I thought the raccoon was a visionary. He is a legend in his own mind, that is for sure. We're just gonna... Oh, man, I'm going to step on all these little metal shards. Every last one of them. I think this is a 4-5. Yes. The raccoon does see visions, yeah. Yeah, I think it depends on where you're in the water. Because... Okay, that drill bit is not the sharpest. That was off camera, thankfully. You didn't get to see how close that came to my finger. Yeah, these holes just do not. They don't quite line up. What raccoon are we talking about? The one that's here. That worked a lot better when I pressed it against the bench. Well, let me tell you. I'm having an issue with my Fusion Elite where I'm going uphill or downhill. When I let off the trigger, it jumps a little. Is this a tuning issue or a gear issue? It could honestly be both. Oh, it's gone now. Mountain lion and San Dimas. Hey, I like a mountain lion. What's wrong with a mountain lion? Let's use some of these. How far will he get? He's already gotten distracted multiple times. How far will he get? Less far than he thinks that he will. And I would be remiss. We're a hair's breadth away from an ant cam, but I can't tell where any of them are coming from or where any of them are going. But this building is awash in ants. There's ants on every surface in this building. But I can't find where they're coming from, and I can't tell where they're going. If I could, you could broadcast it, but I don't know where they're going. I do know they're super dumb. That always holds true of ants. I don't want to have to Dremel any of this. I don't remember what I put the... Do you know... Does Mr. Scurvy not remember what the ant stream was? Was just a column of ants feeding into a taro ant bait for a couple hours? That's all I use. You know what? I'm as amazed as anyone, but that appears to have worked. We will see to... we will find out to what end. Because what I did is I did what I do. Which is loose fit, rough fit. Maybe we got it. Anyone... are you running exclusively 1/10 rigs? What do you think about larger scale trail rigs? I'll tell you this. All of the people that I have spoken to that have an SCX6 swear by it. Or they go, probably going to sell it. That's what it comes down to. The wife still says that when she drove the Cross, it's an animal. Bison? Cougar. When she drove the Cross Cougar, she really enjoyed the Cross Cougar. And she likes Sheila. And Sheila, the FMS FJ40, is basically 7th scale. So I don't have a problem with it. It's where I live is separation of ecosystems. Is basically what it comes down to. If you run 10th scale, if you run the stuff that is like 12 millimeter hexes and you go to some other scale, nothing you have goes over to the new one. If you buy an SCX6, you have to buy all of the stuff for SCX6. You won't have wheels, tires, like barely fasteners will you have that goes over. So it's a whole new ecosystem. So with me going the opposite direction, things like the SCX24, I don't have anything to work on an SCX24, including the desire to do so. So no SCX24. I'm not opposed to larger scales. I just don't want to deal with all the stuff. And also, if you're considering something like an SCX6, just pop on over there and see what a set of wheels and tires costs. And I will need new lines, brah. Totally new lines, brah. Yeah, Bruce is definitely bigger. Have you tested the UCX 1804 or UCX 2405 Pro? I don't know what either of those are, but I'm going to assume that the 18 is 18th scale and the 24 is 24th scale in those numbers. So absolutely not. No one wants to carry back an SCX6. No, you just got to bring a rope with you and tow it back. Hi. After converting my drift car to a crawler motor bundle, but I am after converting my drift car to a crawler motor bundle. Why would you do that? It's a reason for new bins. All of my bins are full. This is to Yeet Master. This is, as I say, half in jest, but mostly in truth. This is a 10th scale house. And we mean that in the loosest possible terms, because an FMS Jimny is 10th scale. The G-Made, no, I'm thinking of the other one. MST. The MST Jimny is 10th scale. An RC four-wheel drive 1982 Toyota is 10th scale. An Element or a Vanquish VS410 are all 10th scale. They sell the Traxxas Defenders and Broncos as 10th scale. We all live in this kind of nebulous range between 1/8 scale, 1/9 scale. There are very few of them that are actually truly 10th scale. So when I'm speaking about 10th scale, I mean they use a tire that looks like this on a wheel that looks like this with 12 millimeter hexes, and you're generally dealing with axles between 185 to say 220 hex to hex. And they use primarily 3 millimeter hardware with a smattering of 2.5 millimeter hardware. It is 10th scale. I'm in this ecosystem. So things like, hey, BMFRC, things like the Axial UTB 18, they will blur that. They will blur that because it uses all 10th scale stuff. It's got 12 millimeter hexes. It uses regular M2.5, M3 hardware. It doesn't use any special tools to work on them, but it's small. So the UTB 18 is, we always called it the UTB 12 because it's much closer appropriately to being 12th scale than it is 18th scale. Put a UTB 18 next to a TRX4M, and the TRX4M looks like this, and here's the UTB 18 out here. It basically looks like putting a 10th scale up against an SCX24 almost. There's no way those are the same scale. And every manufacturer is very loosey-goosey with what is 10th scale. What would be the best beginner 10th scale to snag? TRX4. You get a TRX4 Sport, and here's the beauty of it. You don't need to do anything. And yes, I know the Vertex is out, I know this is out, I know that is out. No, the Vertex is a terrible first vehicle for someone. Terrible. The TRX4 Sport remains the best choice, followed by the Coyote. But I still, due to the durability, the robustness, the availability of aftermarket support, the ability to turn it into whatever you want it to be, I still put and the included stock electronics. I still put the TRX4 over the Coyote. Now, if you live in a locale, a location, or a venue where the Coyote is significantly cheaper, say it's like $50 to $75 less for the Coyote, then that may be a motivation. But nothing for me has unseated the TRX4. because it was made by Traxxas. And Traxxas knew and knows a great many things. You might one day decide, because you've never had one before, you might change your mind and you might go, you know what? I've changed my mind. As people are apt to do. And I've decided I don't like tiny toy cars that go slow. Well, that's fine. You have a TRX-4. You can put a drag motor in it and just go out and just turn it absolutely ballistic. And a TRX-4 would go, yeah, that's fine. Whatever you feel like doing today, I feel like doing it as well. So, I had ordered a set of links when building something else. And then I was like, oh man, these look a little too long to be used for anything. And I stand by that. I still think that these are, those are pretty far out of my price range. Yeah, 10 scale, it's one of the things. I understand a lot of people will start in the smaller scales, 18th scales, 24th scales. I would genuinely not recommend to anyone, unless you enjoy frustration, anything smaller than a UTB 18. An axial UTB 18, which is, once you see the price of it, you go, well, I'm not that far away from just getting a full-size 10th scale. There are cheaper 10th scale vehicles out there, but you buy a TRX-4, you essentially, aside from soldering a new connector onto your ESC to match cheaper batteries, because Traxxas batteries, don't buy Traxxas batteries, there's a false economy. There's a trick and a trap of the micros, because you're going to end up spending just as much for something that is super tiny. And at some point, and I think it happens to pretty much everyone, you're going to get to a point where you're going to say, man, sure would be greater if this thing was bigger. Which is a perfect that's what she said moment, by the way. Do you still have Sandy? Yeah, she's right over here. Hey everybody. Here in the UK, Traxxas spares are far easier to get than anything Axle. Been waiting 2 months for some Coyote spares. Yeah. There is, it's upsides, downsides. There is an upside to the fact that Traxxas hasn't changed the TRX-4 at all in closing in on a decade now. Next year will be 10 years of the TRX-4. My buddy has 24 scales and 30 scales, and that's just way too small for me to fiddle with. I wanted to start at 18 scale. A lot of people love the TRX-4M. It's way too small for me. What, no SCX30 recommendations? Best $100 RTR about this year? I mean, I guess it's great for driving around your, dining room table, getting some expanding foam, and making some little terrain for it to drive around on, but that is not my thing. And I feel the same going both ways, right? Just because it's bigger doesn't mean it's better. Just because it's smaller doesn't mean it's more fun. I'm happy with this size, and I understand, yes, I am aware. I have access to something that most people don't. I'm not discounting that in any way. My yard doesn't exist in other places. If I didn't have my yard, I might feel differently. But why, luckily, people have largely stopped trying to get me to get into micro stuff. And every once in a while, someone will make what they think is a cogent and coherent observation. They're like, your view counts would go up. And I'm like, that's probably true. There's a fairly sizable view market for the small stuff. But I wouldn't enjoy doing it. I would be doing it because I could get view counts from it. The stuff I do now, I do because I want to. And that is definitely true because nobody watched the Invitational. The view return on that was terrible. So hopefully it will pick up over time. Maybe people will discover it and then they can binge it. I don't know. And I still want to do another one. So I have a lighted magnifier to work on 1/10. 24th is just impossible. This is how I get screws out of bins. You think I want to deal with SCX-24s all day? Not much like these. These Mias don't look good. The fasteners, I mean. I'm just gonna pop some fresh ones in there. Any thoughts on the Element CompFox? There's one way to buy a CompFox. Right now, directly from Element. Where if you buy a CompFox, they give you a Cattleman for free. At $200 for a Cattleman and $200 for a CompFox, that's a good deal. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the straight axle parts off the Cattleman and build the CompFox as a straight axle, which is the way God intended it to be, and I don't know why they tried to put it on those terrible portals. You could even throw that Cattleman body on the CompFox and frighten a bunch of people. And then you're going to take a bunch of the leftover bits, and then you're going to collab them together, and you're going to build yourself a trail rig out of the C channels and the leftover parts on the Cattleman. You can get one really quality rig out of those two because they had to mess up the CompFox and put it on the portals. Not just portals, terrible portals. When Element tried to make a portal, boy, did they get it wrong. Eighth scale is the best. MJX8HH for the win. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not, I mean, I tried to get my wife one. It didn't work. My order got canceled and they refunded my money. So, and then I ended up building her one, so, you know, it works out one way or the other. The only good thing from Element is the Stealth X. I mean, I would disagree with that, like, fundamentally. I would fundamentally disagree with that. Their shocks are excellent. They have all of that history of Associated making shocks not leak. The Element portals from my CompFox are still in the bag. Mias and Element portals from day one. Yeah. To buy the Element parts to convert the axles one way or the other, it's cheaper just to buy whole axles from someone else, particularly if they're these. And Mias axles are, and Element axles, and these are both already center pumpkin. You just swap these right on. So if you want your CompFox to be portaled, then take all those, don't even open those bags, buy these for $80, and then just slap them on there. I don't think I've even thought about the RC10TT bootleg axial XJ Cherokee since it came out. No one has. Is that Red Cat Ridge thing any good? No. Not if your expectations of good involve reliability, durability, upgradability, any of that stuff. Pretty sure the Ridge Rock is all plastic gears throughout. Came out of this week's Wheel on Wednesday frightened. The exchange was golden. I'll hold the camera. No, I'll struggle. I'm going to kick you in the shin. Yeah. Her first instinct is violence. It seems like most, if not all of the time. I just have to deal with it. You got to watch out for her. Thank you for answering my questions. I would have wasted money. That's why we're here, man. If you run a VFD on straights, what would you use? 1156? Yeah. And like a 1200. VFD and straight axles is not a lot of reduction. Probably under 40 to 1 final. Like 38 to 1, something like that. I know I did the math up on it, and it's more, like closer to 50 to 1. It definitely doesn't feel like it. I basically don't have a VFD paired to straights. Is this an Amazon Poised? I don't know. I know somebody was going to point out what it is, because I don't know. It came in a tiny little padded mailer, and it was sent in one of the dono boxes, the Canyon dono boxes, and they all just get thrown into a... yes, these rear links are quite long. If you want to talk about a skid forward behavior and attitude, that's where we are right now. It's an Amazon Poised T3. That screw is not the right length. Oh, listen. I have no idea what we're building. I gathered up parts yesterday and today, and we're throwing stuff at it, and we're going to see what sticks. Is it going to be any good? I have no idea. Does it ultimately matter? Not really. It's going to be someone else's problem sooner rather than later. This is going to be one of the giveaways. I'm thinking, I still haven't decided. Is the XP10 buy once, cry once, or just cry? I would say just cry. It doesn't do anything you can't do for less money. And most people don't seem to understand that it's like, what is it now? Is it $10.99? That's a slider. That's no wheels, tires, electronics, any of that stuff. By the time you're done, you're going to spend $1,500 to $1,800. If you spend that kind of money, if I gave you that kind of budget, thank you, Miata Commuter for the 5. If I gave you that kind of money, if I came to your house like a genie and I just slapped $1,500 in your hand, I guarantee you your first thought would not be a Reefs XP10. Because you could build 3 decent rigs for that money, or 2 really, really good ones. What is the Element Comfox special? If you order directly from Element, they're doing BOGO, buy one, get one. So if you buy a Comfox, you get a Cattleman kit for free, quote unquote. I just look at it as getting them $200 each, which is pretty good. Comfox, I never recommended the Comfox, and I've built one, because at $400, it's not an insane value proposition at $400. At $200, that's pretty good. Sadly, you have to buy both at the same time. What do the Punks 3D cost? Punks chassis is $115. By the time you're fully done, you'll build up an Anarchist for about between $600 and $800, depending on where you put it. Where does it say that? Let me see if I can find it. I didn't misspell anything. We go to... I don't know if it's under a special... Oh, yeah. Is it gone now? Okay, because starting from the top, buy a Sendero and get an Enduro Sendero. Buy a Hoonicorn, get a rally car. Buy a Night Runner, get a Hoona truck. Buy an Ecto 12, get an Ecto 24. Terrible. Da-da-da. Team Associated Signs. Doggone awesome deals. I guess they're... Did they run out? Did they run out? That sale was up like a week ago. They might have run out. So in that case, don't buy a Comfox. You can do way better. Because I want to say the Comfox is still $400. Builder's kit. Oh, there's like nothing. This website is scoured. Yeah, they're still charging $400 for a Sendero, which is crazy. You can get one for $200. Don't you need to be a member of the... you didn't. No, I don't know what the membership deals are right now. I tried looking up the Poise T3 on Amazon and only returned menstrual pads. The XP10 is world champion because Wyatt can drive it, or any other truck for that matter, very well. And Mr. C said you can build a comparable truck for less. Yes, much less. It's over, they're out. Yeah. I mean, that was a good deal. So it's ultimately not, it's not too surprising. I thought I had organized my screws somewhat better, but I did not. I'm still hunting and pecking here. Now, will this do anything? I don't know. Could you build this yourself for less than the cost of an XP10? Boy, howdy. You build this for you can build this for incredibly cheap. I think the chassis is $40. The links are about $20. $80 for axles. Gearbox and whatnot. Another $80 for a power plant. You'd probably get this guy in around $500 all done. Are you going to review the knockoff DX44s? I am. Oh, okay. We're moving along. You want a sneaky spoiler? Who wants it? Someone might ask. You might ask. What? How close? How similar are these to DX44s? That's how close. So these are the $180 for the pair on Amazon. That's the rear axle. Let me crack open the other box. And this is the front axle. Look how small, I mean, look how small that is. So this is why when Injora drops their H10 Planet axles for $199, Robin's computer got a link to it on Discord. And only I can post links. Myself or any of the moderation. Whoever's here that is moderation can do it. Amazon charged me for something I returned 5 months ago. Hey, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. That is the Amazon way. There we go. Okay, so they just hid it. Copy. Go back over here. Go to here. Go to here. And paste. Oh, yeah. That has Deluxe engraved on the differential because this is the differential that comes on the axle. This is I ordered from Deluxe. Ordered straight from Deluxe. These are the Deluxe. I mean, which would you take? So yeah, the fitment is exactly the same. Amazon refunded me my money for something I didn't return. Yeah, I've not had that happen yet. I'm hoping for that one. It was Trial wheels. Someone had sent plastic. They had bought Trials, put their plastic wheels back in it, returned them, and then Amazon LPN labeled them and sent them to me. Found your channel like 6 months ago and I've been catching all the lives and love the Cabs Invitational. The daily uploads are sick. Keep it up, man. I love it. I don't know how to stop. Yeah, those are DX44s. And through the kindness, this is a build that is inevitable. It is coming up because I just got the links and I got most of the stuff. someone was kind enough to send in, this is real. This is real. This is fake, but this is real. We're going to have an actual deluxe here, an actual Nessie. Now, the Nessie is set up for offset pumpkins, and I don't have that. I have 2 pumpkins in the same line. So whatever this tray is, I'm gonna figure something out, is what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna have a half and half, where it's gonna be half reeled, I'm doing it class 3, obviously, because that's 4-wheel steer. But the real thing, one of my only real things. I have a couple not real things, but and I mean, it's like pretty much going to be half deluxe and half not. Got the Stumpy 22 to go in there. Any sort of TI Fury update? It actually got pushed over to another slot. It's one of those things that it is so close to being done that I just need to finish it. And then I start working on something else. Just like the 6x that I'm supposed to be building, things get bumped off the whiteboard for whatever reason. And once they're bumped off the whiteboard, it's kind of hard for them to get back on. So that's what happened to the TI Fury. And then I start thinking about the stuff that I'm supposed to be working on. Oh, let me guess. Trapped? Nope. And then I spiral a little bit, and then I just go in the house and sit down. Yeah, the DX44 from Deluxe versus the Chinese version of the same, you can put the pumpkin on the other side on those DX44s. That's what I did. Okay, I already put the box away. The stubby pieces, I would have to order. I would hopefully I would be able to buy those, because the truss would have to flip, and the tubes would have to be opposite-handed. You can't just flip the short tube to the other tube side, because it will try to put the servo behind the axle instead of in front of it. Yes, I have taken all the screws out, and I have tried to do it, and it cannot be done. D1RC Digtrans any good? Can't tell you. Did I order one? Yes. When will I see it? Who knows? Because I was waiting for the Rainforest Challenge site, D1RC XRF, Rainforest, whatever that site is, the site where I got my TI Fury. I was waiting for them to get them back in stock. So I ordered one some time ago. At what point did you know financially that you could do YouTube full-time? Never. I could never do YouTube full-time. My wife has a real job. She is the only reason any of this happens at all. Because if I had to rely on this, there's no chance. I don't make enough money to, like, YouTubing is fully catch-22'd, okay? If you want to turn YouTube, you want to turn the lever where it's locked on hobby and you click it over so it turns to jobby, you get to be a salesman and you get to sell the things, because that's the only way you're going to stay, quote unquote, in business. I am not a business. I am not in business. I would have to go about selling this kind of stuff. I would have to build rigs and raffle them off, and I do not want to do that. And luckily, this all precipitated from 5 years ago, because my wife, I was bringing a box with a Capra kit in it when you could still buy a Capra kit. And she saw me carrying it into the house, and she said, "We need to have a talk. I've seen this pattern before. You're going to have to find a way to make this pay for itself." That was roughly 5 years ago, very close to now. I want to say August 28th of 2021 was the day that I uploaded my first talkie video. And then we fast forward to where we are now. And, like, it doesn't, you know, growth is not infinite. The return on time investment is catastrophic. I would be surprised if my income was $10 an hour. I'd be amazed if I made $10 an hour. I was in the workshop this morning prepping for this at 7 a.m. Took a break for lunch. So I've already been out in the shop for, this would be my 7th hour now that we're into the 1 o'clock hour. On Thursday was my day off. Came out in the shop about 6:45. I took care of prep work and getting other stuff ready. Then I went inside, finished editing videos, uploading videos, and I got done with doing links and all of that stuff at about 4:30. So on my off day, I worked from 7 to 4:30. And it has to be the thing that you do because you enjoy it. Because otherwise it starts to feel like a job. Do you have other side jobs? I sold parts for Scion TCs and a couple Toyotas for almost 20 years. That's what I did. That is as much a component of why I don't sell this stuff as anything else. I worked production and I sold stuff. I was my own boss. I've been my own boss since 2003. It's a big reason why I would rather give rigs away than sell them. I've never sold a rig. And yet I tell people all the time who are like, would you build me a rig? Yeah, sure. I'll email you and tell you where to send the money. I'll build you whatever you want. Custom bits, whatever you need. No one has ever taken me up on it. People have sent builds in to be built. But no, I've never consigned a build, and I wouldn't charge to build it. I would just buy the parts and then build it. And then any, the leftovers, we'll keep those. But no one has ever, people always seem interested. But I mean, are they interested, This guy had to have, I think I made 2 custom pieces on this. Oh, that's true. I need to do the $750 Patreon tier. So this was the custom piece that I had to make. Hey! The money he makes on raffles is crazy. I remember reading that old Tom Lee makes more on raffles than he does on all of his other YouTube stuff. It's like his primary income driver. And I don't want to. So I ain't gonna. I'm not saying anybody else shouldn't. Go for it, That's an 8. I need a 10. I've gotten I thought I had my fasteners sorted. Not as sorted as I thought. Filming so many videos at once, how do you keep track of the footage? None of it ever seems to be missing. Well, I live and operate in like a 10-day window, which is I'm generally 7 or 8 days out in advance. Where is Fort McMurray? I feel like I've heard that name before. So I keep stuff in the sorter. I keep stuff in Final Cut usually for about 3 weeks. But if whatever the premiere date is, so say tomorrow's video on August 8th, by August 29th, all evidence that that video was ever made will be gone. I don't have the storage space to keep all that stuff, so away it goes. I keep it organized by doing what I call shooting in session. I try not to record more than 3 videos in one sitting because it will light your mind ablaze. And I don't know. I have it down. What I've got is a system. I got a system that I use. Okay, let's center and front. Pick this up too far. I shouldn't have put that on yet. Not until it had shocks on it. Which trail truck goes with the Comfox BOGO? Cattleman. UK has different rules for raffles than we do. Yes, it's true. Being a YouTuber is a lot more self-sacrifice than I'm interested in. Yeah. I told my nieces who have dabbled, I was like, all you need to do to be successful in YouTube is devote all of your free time every day for about 5 years. And if you do that, you can get to a point where YouTube can actually subsidize itself, right? It can pay for itself. That's where I am now. YouTube, she said, YouTube needs to pay for itself. I spend all the money. There's no 401k. There's no savings. Everything that comes in YouTube goes to YouTube. What did your wife dress up for? Okay, she was Cammy from Street Fighter, the OG one, the green one. Not the Street Fighter 6 one. She was Nico Robin from One Piece. And she was... That's the 2 days I was there. I don't remember what she was on the other day. What was she on the other day? I can't remember. Yeah, YouTube pays for the hobby. It doesn't pay the rent. 100%. I keep them separated. Hey, my primary reason for doing a YouTube channel is to leave a memory from behind me for my sons. That seems nice. As you may or may not be able to tell, these are the links that appear next to the listing for this chassis. And I was committed. This is, and I'm unapologetic about it, this is a little bit of a clearinghouse build. I had no intention of using this chassis. Every drive shaft on here is used. The axles are brand new, the chassis is brand new, the gearbox is brand new, so is the servo, the shocks. It's about half brand new, it's about half sent in. I ordered the rest. That's right, Faye Valentine. That's right, Cowboy Bebop. What do you think about a comparison where you take 4 tusks or ruptures versus using mixed tires on front, rear to max climbing, steering, handling performance? I think that you're introducing yourself into a turbine of variables that I don't run. I've run mixed tires before, but I'm not currently running mixed tires on anything because there's just it's like saying I need more variables. That's like saying. I'm sure there are people out there doing it to great effect, but I'm sure as well that these are the same people that have multiple wheel and tire sets for different environments. Because I don't know about y'all. I imagine y'all are smarter than I am. But I'm that guy that would drive to a competition somewhere, set down on a rock. I mean, if I took a blow to the head and woke up and felt competitive, I would drive to the location of the competition and be like, man, these tires suck here. That's the thing. Unless you practice where you compete, you're going to find out one way or the other whether or not those tires are the right tires. Because competition is ultimately about that last 2%. You, that skid forward old Enduro Mias chassis with the S-shaped front upper links, I cannot the front articulate smoothly at all on mine with Mias nylon portals. I may send or bring it to you. That would be that's not Lolo. Is it? No, because that's a brazen. I think I know what one you're talking about. I've arbitrarily chosen the spring rates. So we're gonna find out if these are it or not. And we're gonna find out in the usual fashion, which is we're gonna take it out and drive it. And then we'll know one way or the other. I watched Tom use dog toys as tires. Yeah, I did that as well. Someone sent them in. Complete. They sent them in with a set of Tamiya 14th scale hauler wheels, which perfectly fit inside the dog toys. I did it on April Fool's Day a couple of years ago. And I did it as an absolute straight up. I did it no joking. I played a straight man on that. And the number of people that didn't get the joke was equal or potentially greater than the number of people said, "Oh, you like your copy, Tomley, huh?" I had never seen that video. Someone sent in the dog toys, someone sent in the wheels, and I thought, well, that'll be a laugh, won't it? And I made a video of it, and then I uploaded it, and then the collective viewership of YouTube killed a little bit of the joy in me. And they assured that I will never, ever, ever again do an April Fool's Day video. My video on April Fool's Day is just another video. Whatever day of the week April Fool's Day falls on, it's going to be the video that is uploaded that day of the week. But anything that is winky or they killed a little bit of the joy in me, not as like they stomped it to death, flat and lifeless when it comes to April Fool's Day. When I would do the weekly dumb, and I would do those, people didn't get that either, which only leads me to one conclusion: people are goddamn idiots. That's the only thing I can figure, is that there are a large enough constituent portion of the population that are just abjectly stupid. So it's hard, you know? It's hard because I've already got the Red Cat Army to contend with on any given day. I've got the buffoons that Vanquish could take a crap in the palm of their hand and they would say, "Oh, thank you, sir. May I have more, please, sir? May I have some more?" And would never say a bad thing about it because they're afraid that they're going to dilute their own fandom if they actually stop and say, "Well, you know what? I really like this company, but sometimes they don't hit a home run. Sometimes they swing and they miss." And, you know, it is ultimately what it is. We soldier on and we sally forth. Thank you. I always want to say Del Rosa, because that's the street. I grew up near that street. D-A-I Rosa. So I have to deal with, you know, I've gotten better. I've gotten better figuratively. Because there's two things that can happen to you. I would classify it into two groups. There's two things that can happen to you if you routinely expose yourself to the internet. One of them is you can be like, these people are mean, and you stop doing it. And that's fine. I think less people need to be on the internet. I think I probably need to be on the internet less. The other one is you listen to the same broken records, skipping over the same spots, just over and over and over and over and over again, right? And then eventually, over time, what happens to you, or at least has happened to me, I'm not saying that this is a guarantee that this happens to everyone, but it has unquestionably happened to me, which is you start to believe that almost everyone is an idiot. So when I get that comment, when I'm ready for the absolute buffoon grade comments that are coming, and then they happen, I go, there he is. There he is. There's the idiot. Who's out idioting for the village? Who is idioting for that village while that guy's on the internet? Does that village have two idiots? And one is dispatched to the internet while the other one goes around and performs idiocy and acts of idiocy in the village? I often have questions. And then I think to myself, I'm limiting myself too much. The villages are full of idiots. They have a surplus of idiots. So many that there's not enough room for the idioting, so they have to go on the internet. There you go. Talking loud ain't saying nothing. You know what I haven't gotten in a while and I'm looking forward to it? It happens fortnightly. One of my favorite YouTube comments. Sure do like to hear yourself talk, don't you? Well, it ain't a mime channel, is it? So, you know, if you were here for miming, I do apologize. I do apologize for how little mime content there is on the channel. I've also never heard the idiot said so many times like the movie Scarface. Yeah, well, actually, isn't the... We gotta watch out. I don't want to get banned again. Isn't the F-bomb... Didn't the F-bomb record holder just drop? It was Big Lebowski for the longest period of time. Like 240... Like over once a minute. It was almost twice a minute it was uttered in that. I think it fell to something else, though. Red Cat is the best crawler ever made. And I was going to ask a question, but now I'm kind of scared to. No. There is no such thing as a stupid question. There isn't. I truly believe that. But these people, they're not in my comments asking questions. They're making declarative statements which they think are factual. Or they're making observations that have already been made 1,000 times. I've been doing this for 5 years. I didn't even notice it, but I passed 2,000 videos sometime last week. I've uploaded 2,000 videos. If an average video got 10 comments on it, I'd have 20,000 comments. No one has ever thought, oh boy, you sure love to hear yourself talk. I really don't. And I'd like to see myself even less, which is a big contributor of why I'm not in the videos. Yeah, idiots don't ask, they just speak. I do love the confidently wrong, though. I love the confidently wrong. That's Red Cat. It lives forever, rent-free in my head, where I did all that work on the Ascent, and a guy left a message and said, well, I don't even know why you wasted your time. My CG is lower than that. And I was like, well, how did you go about getting there? How did you get to your number? And he's like, well, when you measured the height of yours, I measured mine, and mine measures lower. And I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go, baby. We're diving in head first. And about 18 comments down that chain is when he admitted that he didn't own any scales and he had never put the vehicle on a scale. Much less tried to calculate the CGH. He'd never even weighed it. But his CG was lower than mine because his sliders sat lower than mine. This was after I had fabricated my own kicked chassis for it so that the sliders went up like this. They were higher at the back than at the front. So he thought because the back of his flat sliders were lower than mine, that meant that his CG was lower. The internet. You hate deaf people, you ableist? Nah. I'm getting closer to them than not. 2000 part. I didn't even notice. I went to look at the channel info and it said I was at 2004. Also, based on average monthly view counts, August, September, probably November will hit 5 million views, channel views. So that I would consider more of a landmark than the number of videos I've uploaded. Because nobody remembers the videos. I don't remember the videos. I don't blame anyone that doesn't remember the videos. I don't remember them. Where do I ship the stuff for you to build my class 2? I'll send you everything. How does that work? You send me an email to crawlercanyon@gmail.com and you say, hey, I'm that guy that wants to send you the C2 stuff, and I'll say, here's what I'm going to do. Here's the address for you to send it, and then lower your expectations because the turnaround might be 2 weeks, it might be 2 months. So if you need it done immediately, take care and be aware. Things get worked on in their own good time. None of this existed 36 hours ago. Happy birthday to my deceased mother. That's wild. That's a wild thing. I don't know if my mother is alive or dead. Holy crap, YouTube does have mimes. Nice. I knew they would. The stuff you remember is insane, honestly. You remember gear ratios better than you remember a video from 2 weeks. Yeah. Once the video is shot, the video is gone. It's out of my head. Which is how I had to... It took me a year to build up to getting the 1 week buffer. Because I can't remember. I can't remember what happened. Tom the Mime is the best mime on YouTube. I feel like I'm going to have to find that out for myself. So, here's what happened. Nobody jumped up. So guess what? Guess where this fits? It fits right here. Guess where this is going? This is going right here. You do have to, you gotta slot it together. And then we have to use 5 arms to get this together. Or it can be almost 2 years. Only if you send in a bunch of garbage. Which is what Mr. Hurley did. Some of the worst parts I've ever seen. I ended up having to replace, like, probably 40% of what he sent. I went to my local indoor crawler place. There was 5 people in there with the new Red Cat going on and on about how great it was, and I brought out my parts bin build, and they couldn't keep up. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Building a truck cab with 4mm plywood is a slow, dusty process. That's more work than I would want. I work with wood. And there's some things that I don't wood with. I'm going to build a bed. The upcoming 6x is going to have a wooden bed. Or at least partly. I don't know if it'll be full wood, but it'll have wood. And I would like to have that built before Proline, but we'll see, you know. Because some hopped up, jumped up idiot was like, hey, let's give away a rig every month, and it won't compromise your mental integrity at all. Because, well, I mean, we made it to here. It's August. And I did not ignore the comment earlier. Look at this. And oh wait, no, we got to get the front drive shaft on. The front drive shaft makes it that much better. These are all transplant drive shafts that have been on something else before. I gotta work back to front here. This thing is get the fire extinguisher ready. Okay. Now, this Unity never ran disturbingly hot, but it did get far warmer than I would like. Now, we'll see what happens. In the hour and a half of the stream, I've eaten an entire package of Oreos. Oh, that sounds amazing. Oh, I would love to eat a whole package of Oreos right now. Amaze. It's going together. How do you rate the 6x6 capability versus a 4x4? Okay, it's not even fair. If you've never driven a 6x before, particularly a flat rail 6 rail, if it's just a C-channel 6x, if we're talking about getting through gates, something competitive, some sort of compy build is still going to be more capable, because a 6x6 tends to have quite a bit of a turning radius. But if we're talking about y'all go down with your boys and you go down to the quarry and you all are going to try to drive up this grade or slope or rock or whatever it is, a 6x is going to beat the crap out of any 4x, even if your tires aren't as good. Once you put good tires on it, it's an angry centipede that just drives straight up whatever surface. I handed the controller of Jolly Green over to one of my older nephews. Not older, I guess he's right in the middle. I have nephews that are like, some of them are in their mid-30s, and he's like 19 and has no experience driving these, and took him out and was driving it, and he was like, oh my God, is there any place this thing won't go? And I was like, not really. Not really. It'll go pretty much anywhere. He enjoyed the 6x experience. And there's nothing mythical or magical about it. It has a bonus axle. It has 50% more axles. And what happens when rock crawling is you tend to get upset and out of shape. So at any given point climbing a rock, you might have 75% of your tires on the ground. But a 6x is going to have at least 4 tires on the ground pretty much all the time. And this allows it to just go wherever it wants to go, or wherever you want it to go. I run the same motor in my choiced OD3 with a 10-turn, with a 10-tooth. I think that's what I put on here. It's that big, long pinion that comes with it. Is it 3? It's that guy. Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's either a 9 or a 10. It's a 9 or a 10. I want to build a 6x on Panther Cougars. Wheef. Put some money in the box of parts to guilt expedited service. We'll see if that works. Oh, speaking of insane videos, let's talk about the A-main comparison video. Oh, but wait, there's less. Before I get into the A-main comparison video, okay. Spoilers. Okay. Huge spoilers. The Sunday video on the channel is the Hurley Quinn, okay? You know that there's a 7 to 8 day lead, right? So you know that it was already recorded and uploaded, and the additional stuff has already been taken care of. That said, I don't know if you're ready, because all I said to the kid, I gave the kid one brief, and the brief was ice cream paint job. I mean, with the waffle cone and the mint chip? I mean, with the sprinkles on the fudge? And I had painted it matte, and the kid said, "Nah, it needs to be gloss. Look at all the colors. All the colors." Look at that. Oh, with the cherry on top? Oh. And when they were almost done. And they were like, "I think it's done." And then they looked at it and they said, where are the chips? They forgot to put the chips in the mint. And they hadn't put the jimmies on the roof. Now, for those who aren't in on the joke, Mr. Hurley, this is going to Mr. Hurley. This is destined for Mr. Hurley. And Mr. Hurley can't see colors worth an anything. And he has said vocally multiple times that he hates ice cream. And I believe his usual phrasing is ice cream sucks. Yeah, cream on the inside, clean on the outside. This is clean on the inside, cream on the outside. Ice cream paint job. So that's the problem. That's the problem. It has the holes drilled in the roof for the carbon roof panel, right? But that will obscure the cherry. No, I don't know. I think I'm just going to send it. He does hate ice cream. I think I'm just going to send this with it in a bag. The gloss clear is Fusion Max. This one. Fusion all-in-one gloss clear. And it went great. Yeah, I think no roof rack. I drilled the 4 holes before it got painted. But the kid absolutely annihilated it. Oh, just mount the outer frame. With that little kick of carbon up there. We might have to do that. Yeah. Ice cream paint job is phenomenal. Look at the layers of ice cream. And then what I do is I put down a layer of the matte clear, and then while the matte clear is still in the tacky phase, I apply the decals, and then I go over it again, and it really kind of welds them down. So like there's no lip around the handles. I think I put 4 stickers on the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't even put headlights because the kid put like little like honey buns for headlights. He's probably still at work. Or oh no, there he is. There it is. Amazing. We got a damn it man out of him. That's how you know we're doing pretty good. That's how we're doing pretty good. And those who haven't seen it up close, pink rail on this side, gold rail on that side, red and purple, blue and green, silver and gold, green and blue, and all of the concave washers are all different colors. The 2 body mounts are different colors. The shocks are tritone. Everything is, it's all the colors of the wind with the ice cream paint job. Clear Lexan rack so you can still see the cherry. I have 16th inch Lexan. I might have to cut out some Lexan. I think I started Mr. Hurley's ice cream sucks comments after I was saying I was enjoying some ice cream. Yeah. Yes, I asked Punks if I could just get everything in a different color, and you know what? They did it. They sent me one of each color of wheel face, one of each color of brake rotor, 2 rails in different colors. So yeah, that's why it took a bit longer than usual to get all the parts, because I don't know if they had to get them done. I don't know what was involved. All I know is it came out fantastic. OD3 is a little snarly. Yeah, the only ice cream that Mr. Hurley ever enjoys. It's entirely possible. But wait, spoiler number 2. I think it's tomorrow. I'm gonna go on here. Where's my studio? I think it's tomorrow. Come on. You all. God, I haven't uploaded a short to YouTube in like 3 months. I can't make myself do it. No. Oh, that's a ways out. Oh, okay. Tomorrow is Dusty, and then Hurley Quinn on Sunday. I do the quick view of the Vertex 2.2 tires on Monday. Triple header on Tuesday. As always, Wheel and Wednesday. LP Razor Wires Thursday. And then I guess it came from the Workbench Volume 84 is Saturday. So we're talking about the video. We're talking about the video that is a week from tomorrow. So that's about where I am right now. You know, the only thing better would have been getting one of those sound boxes to make ice cream music. Oh. For those of you, anyone out there among you, have you ever painted anything with the Spastics color change paints? Okay? The Spastics color change paints are what I call the ultimate expression of having faith in the process. Because the color change paint, every part of the process seems like it's failing. And I ordered a can. It's right here. I ordered a can. I threw it on one of my A-main orders because I was already ordering something that had to be shipped ground. So they had a color called Blue Red. And I was like, okay. All right, I hear you, Blue Red. I don't think that there's any way that we can show this where it's going to look like it looks. Now, you see, okay, you're seeing mostly blue. I can't really get it to transfer to red. But now watch. That's just black. It's just black. When it's outside in the sun, it is blue to red to purple. It's the craziest thing. And every step of painting it, and then watch, we'll get, oh, there it is. Oh, look at that. It is unnerving. Well, here's the thing, Mr. Yeti. I used over half the, I would say half the can of this. They say do 2 to 3 coats. I did like 3 full coats, and it's just milky and frosty and white, and it looks like you ruined it. And then if we can get in on the... Look at that. That's just straight black. And you get... Oh, look right on that edge. Look right there. In the sun, it's absolutely crazy. Like, it just sparkles and glimmers and changes colors. And then when you put the black down behind it, the body is fully matte black. And then once you peel off the overspray mask, it just... I ordinarily paint the beds matte black. I couldn't do it. Can you see? Yeah. From this angle, look at that. That truck is black. Yeah, so there's that guy. Son of Dusty. And you know what? The first time this thing goes out onto the ground, he's going to be just as dusty as his father. I went with the X-out headlights. It's very glossy. Can you tell that this was decanted from the overspray mask this very morning? At night it looks black, and in the sun it's black cherry. Yeah, and it goes full blue. When you get it at just also, these are daylight spectrum 6500s. So there's a lot of purple in the hood right there. Yeah, look at that guy. Look at that guy. Now you gotta name him Breadline. So yeah, you know, I had a day off, quote unquote. I had a day off from labors, so all I did was work. I need to put them away. Traffic is stupid. Nobody likes traffic, Mr. Hurley. No one. Except cops, maybe. I don't know. Do I have 2 more purple washers? I think I've run out of purple washers. I have 3 of one kind and 3 of the other kind. I just need 1 more. Come on. Come on, baby. 1 more. I know where it is. It's on Mr. Hurley's vehicle. I just remembered. I reminded myself that this is a giveaway. And I will go to some great lengths to outfit vehicles so that I don't have to change drivers to work on them. But this one's leaving, so... Oh, that's a lot of ants. Oh, boy. So if I have to change the driver, I don't mind. 8262. The situation inside the building right now. 8262. Have you figured out how to make lives from the backyard in all this time I've been gone? No. Well, no, I mean, I know exactly how to do it. I need Wi-Fi. I need Wi-Fi that goes all the way to the back. And I don't have that. So it's either Wi-Fi repeaters. I was hoping, because Verizon is always offering deals. They're like, oh, we'll give you this free internet thing. And I'm like, cool. And then they're like, oh, sorry, actually, we're going to keep sending you these emails, but your address isn't available for the Wi-Fi, for the remote, the 5G Wi-Fi. And 5G Wi-Fi should be plenty, but I can't have it. Not available in your area. So we'll blame it on Verizon. They're not here to defend themselves. For any of you who followed that saga, my watch did get turned on like 4 days later, and I had to completely reinitiate my service. Like, they basically turned my cell phone service off and then turned it back on under a new, different plan. And what they had done to my old plan, which was a grandfathered plan, is they had de-featurized it until it had less features than the base model entry plan. When at the beginning, my grandfathered plan had more features than the current top tier plan. I don't know how that's legal, but I don't know how anything that they do is legal. They should all be indicted and imprisoned. Oh, the A-Main comparison video? So, salesmen be selling. That's how that works. And A-Main, I don't care for that guy's voice. I watched that whole video where they compared the Vertex to the Stance and the VRD to the 10 sliders, never once mentioning like respective prices, at least that I saw. And it was the absolute, I think pap is the word people would use. It's absolute pap. Because they are a place that sells things, so he never arrived at any point or moment that would have resembled a definitive conclusion, like you should buy this one or you should buy this one. We never got anything resembling that. And I mean, why would they, you know? Your internet's still going through the coaxial? Yeah, it is. It wasn't even a proper carbon. They actually made the carbon build worse. The raccoon was there when I was kind of live reacting to it on the Discord. And when they said they had glued a bunch of shot in it to weight the skid, I was like, ordinarily, this is the moment where I'd be out. I'd be like, I've heard all I've needed to hear. Voluntarily adding sprung weight that isn't beautiful or glorious. If you've ever put a hard body on something, you've added sprung weight. A lot of it. In like the worst possible spot. But if you can avoid adding sprung weight, by all means, do that. Here's how we high-tech this. We get the steadies, and we just trim. And then the important part is you got to get them right in here. And your flush cutters need to be pretty sharp. And there's quite a high fiber content in these axle housings. And I find this friendlier to my ears, eyes, and lungs than any other grinding methodology. And then we trim this little bit off here, and you got to do that with a razor knife, and don't cut yourself. That's not me talking to you, that's me talking to me when I say don't cut yourself. Sometimes I remember to do this before I put the axles together, but today I did not. How much is this kit? How much is which kit? Yeah, it's his job to sell both. Isn't that what's called lightweight always? No, I mean, the lightweight always guy won't run a Fusion because it's too heavy. That's bonkers. That's banana town. But weighting the skid, because the skid, like, I wouldn't weight this skid, and look how far forward it is. Weighting the skid on a VRD is, they ruined it. He lost 4% of weight distribution. He pushed the weight distribution 4% to the back. That's crazy. Whatever you're currently building, it looks really nice and along the idea lines of what I eventually want. Well, here's the beauty, Yeet Master. You can absolutely build this, and you can do it inexpensively, and because it doesn't come in a box, you can do it over time, and you can order it as you go. And I wouldn't recommend a Unity myself because I say don't buy Furitech. And the Unity is about $120, and you can get an Outrunner and a speed control to run the Outrunner for under $90, like $85. And if you were gonna assemble this yourself, I would say you buy the chassis and you buy the links first. That's going to cost you about 60 or 70 bucks. And then you're going to buy axles. And if you were to go with these axles, that's going to cost you about 80 bucks. Axles can run the absolute range in what they cost. Right. So you could go with something nicer. You could go with something wider. I would probably ultimately go with something wider, capper width. Can he have that one? I don't sell them. We do a giveaway. This is the giveaway. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the giveaway for September, because I realized that Proline by the Fire is more right around the corner than I had initially thought. Dang it, Crushinator. I have that set to the right length. So I guess this is a knockoff of a Poised. Most people call it the Choised. I think the chassis is $40 or $47, something like that. I can't actively remember. The shocks are damn near as cheap as you can get. I had to add a couple little bits here and there. I don't know. Stuff might have fallen out of the bag. Yeah, weighted skid with an outrunner. They put a stubby kit on it, and the stubby kit should only be employed on a VFD if you're running a skid forward transmission like a Zoku FF or a Brazen Frontline. It should never be used on the stock chassis, ever. Because the CG will be objectively worse than if it was in the stock configuration. And we saw that. Because if you watched those videos, if you watched that video and watched those comparisons, with any level of a critical eye, you would immediately say that the stock stance performed better than their modded VRD carbon. And that takes work. That is a cautionary tale to anyone and everyone that, like, just because it's a modification is not a guarantee that it's going to be better. I do have one. I don't think I have a radio for this, for the giveaway portion of this. So we will find out what happens in between now and then. I can, that's a big part of the reason why I'm moving, why I'm saying instead of doing Mr. Hurley's and this one in the same month, this one's not really ready to give away this month, because I would like to contribute a radio to it. We have this sort of burgeoning thing of giving away full RTRs. I mean, we could do it as a slider, but there is one for certain. If you're taking this thing home, it's getting a Furatech Unity in it. I'm not taking that out. I offered it up. I went on the Discord and I said, if anybody's interested, and nobody said boo. So it's on this. Yeah, I tend to go with the hot RC. What are they? Is it the CT6, CT8? The one that has a foot on it. I don't as much like the footless one because I like to be able to set my radios down. 1 and 2. So I'll pop a radio link in here to set it up. Oh, it's a nice little spot for a zippy. Little zippy zip. 8A. Yeah. The Discord is linked in the channel description. Every time I go on there to try to find out where to get a Discord link, I never remember how I did it. I have to ask my kid. I'm like, where's the Discord invite? And they go like this. They go, ugh. I'm like, this is what you have to get used to. Old people can only store so much information at any given time. I just don't want wires in the spinny bits, so we're doing a terrible thing with the wires here. Pardon me. There's just ants everywhere. It's a 2-zipper. At least with it being a Unity, I can't do the thing that I've now done 2 times, which is pull the zip ties down and loosen a solder joint or pull a wire out of something, and then I go to make it run, and I'm like, why won't this thing work? I think I actually need to adjust this thing. It's not cutting all the way through. Huh. We gotta go back to my dull ones? It is not cutting that zip tie off. Yep, back to the dull ones. Maybe it needs adjusted again. Oh, it's beautiful. Those wires are beautiful. I need a radio. It says Turistas on it. Turista radio up to, it's on 5 models. It's nothing. Model 5. 3S battery. Does anybody have a 3S battery on them? I probably do. There's a 4S. There we go. Oh, wait. Do I have one that has dual lock on it? I do not. Okay. Let's see if this little strap is right length. I'm tired the show will continue for too long. Hey, that's a matter of opinion. I don't know if any of this is going to fit. I don't know if any of this is going to work. I don't know if the axles are going to be okay. This battery strap is far too long. But you know what? At the same time, it's not far too long. That's okay. Oh, also, relevant and hearkening back to the A-main video again, they put the battery about as far back on the slider as it could physically go. Like they were, it almost felt like at moments they were trying to make that thing work less good. Okay. I can't believe we're here. I mean, I did do an absurd amount of prep. No, I take that back. I did the appropriate amount of prep. So that all the hard stuff was out of the way. Oh yeah, I like that. Did you hear the pop? Did you hear the pop? It's all right. It's all right, ain't it? Oh, where's the button? The button, the button. Don't hold it too long. You'll turn on the gyro. Bling. Dang, that's a quiet servo. Couldn't even hear it. Hey, welcome aboard, Bootsy. You know what? That looks appropriately close. It's so quiet, though. It's definitely throwing more to one side. Weird. So that is straight up and down. Okay, we're definitely too short on the drag length. So that would probably help explain. Now I'm leaving for real. Oh, the raccoon bonked again. Oh. Wait. FureTech stuff. Bench, 85. My hand, 92 and a half. These are in freedom units. Motor is still about 90 degrees. But we're not doing everything. We're just... It doesn't have wheels on it. This is... Let's see if that's right. That's better. That's better. Yeah. Better. So on one. Oh, all right. Still got a little more throw to one side than the other. The horn's long enough. Angle on it's not bad. Like I'm getting a full lock on that. We're not impacting anything, are we? No. What is there something hitting? No. Okay, it is a tiny bit more throw to one side than the other, and I can't really... Do you think a 20 millimeter fan would help that motor? It's getting warm. It's getting warm. I don't understand. I don't understand why that servo is so quiet. Your car's cooling system works at 212 degrees, so if the FureTech goes 130 to 140, that's fine. If it goes above that operating temperature, problems arise. It gets hot enough that you go like this. I wonder if it's hot. Hi. It's definitely shooting to the 160 range. When I would bring Rainbird in after he had done his run, and then he comes back on Cardi B, and we'd put him on the bench, it would still be between 130 and 140, which meant that out on the rocks it was 150s, 160s at least. And every other combo that was running out there was doing just fine. When I ran the 8 SE, if you turn the drag brake off, it doesn't get hot anymore, but then there's no drag brake. PBX AT Hardcore to Tertius and some real squishers. It's going to be really long. It's going to be not quite wide enough for what it is. I mean, do we all agree it's pretty long? I can bring up the Furicar app and see if I can program this thing. Last time I tried to program it, it wouldn't work at all. I couldn't program it at all. Okay, we're down pretty low. All right, it's going to happen. Our rotation direction is correct. Hey-oh! So this is long travel. What glue do you recommend use for tires? If you have to glue a tire, there's only one adhesive to buy. It is Bob Smith Industries IC2000. It says 20 to 45 seconds. It's way longer than that. It's like 10 minutes. But what it allows you to do is get that glue all the way in the bead, and when it dries black. So if you get globs of it everywhere, it doesn't get the white streaks that you will get with other cyanoacrylates. I don't like it. It looks like them sporty rigs. Well, it's a poised, so yeah. Oh, we're definitely over 330. I don't know what it came out to. Rear shocks are basically laid down. Just put a roof on that and you got a boom slang special. Let's call it 360. It looks like it's 360, and that's pretty much all the way down. The rear shocks wouldn't ordinarily sit there. Yeah, 360. How dynamic is it? Yeah, it loses. Oh, no, I was reading it wrong. It loses a good 10 millimeters. 360 to 350. Who knew, you know? It has no underdrive nor overdrive in it, but it will. I have ordered those bits and pieces. They will be here in a couple of days. I have ordered enough pieces to go to, I think we can get it up to 36%. Yeah, no shots at 360. But here's the thing. I was never going to use those links for anything. Does he actually know what he's talking about? Well, he's not just spouting nonsense. But what I have experienced in the past is, in my estimation, a little bit of an overconfidence. Like, he says things as if they are on the stone tablets. And it got off to a rocky start with me when he said that anti-squat doesn't work. Because if anti-squat didn't work, link position changes wouldn't matter at all. And then he goes off on his deal about how link risers don't do anything. Well, they do in select situations. You can't put a link riser on a class 1 tire. The link separation, the separation between links at the axle side is supposed to be a percentage of the height of the tire. So you want a greater spread between links on, say, a 6-inch tall tire than you do on a 4-inch tall tire. This is just basic logical stuff. And when you move the inner link mounting point, the point at the chassis, this affects the moment center. And this is just most of what I know. I read in a book, and the rest I got from just doing it and then saying this is what works and this is what doesn't work. There's a book from many moons ago by Fred Pune called Making Your Car Handle, How to Make Your Car Handle, something like that. That's how I got my brain around what effect does increasing caster have? What effect does positive and negative camber angles have? What effect does kingpin inclination have? All of that stuff, right? I got that from a book. I'm going to see if we can do the, I got to, pardon my beeps. You get more leverage when the links are separated at the axle. Oh, wait. Okay. Can I do this? How high? Okay. Wait. No, there you go. Okay. Mode. On. Switch. I go lock A. Position up. That's this guy right here. Enter. Left. Wait. Zeroed. Master. Channel 3. Because by default, the VR guy, this guy, is channel 3. We go to down. We'll put that to, I'll put that to 0. Slave throttle. We make sure it's off. Then we go back to down and we go to minus 99 or 100. And I don't know why it has to be on the down channel. That's just how PMX goes. And that right there, that's what cruise control looks like. So then we don't hit anything because we don't know what the cruise is set at. Okay, there we go. And then we go back over here. Bish, Bosch. I'm doing a 21, which translates to an 18 for whatever reason. Hiding right behind my hand. We're doing the unveil, and I'm hiding it behind my meat paw. I dug through the bag, and someone sent in a body, and I put that body on it. This is the RC four-wheel drive JP Custom Competition crawler body, and try to convince me that that didn't want to go on that. Originally $26.99. Somebody spent $10. Somebody's going to tell me that thing's a collector's item. Well, better it go into a good use than it hanging in a bag. It's got the stickers from. It wants all these to be windows. This is going to have 3 windows. And then we're going to stick some of these dumb I love how it has a winch. When's the last time you saw a winch sticker? Of course the raccoon hates it. And do you know what that means? That means it's good. Because, watch this. See if I can, I'm trying to do it. Look at the servo go right up under the body. Oh, by the way, The raccoon hates this, and I love that about it. Look at how round that is. I don't think you could turtle this. I mean, in the upside, I don't think you could. I think you could throttle rock it out until it was back on its wheels. 360 wheelbase. I don't know where we came out width-wise. 270. 270 is not bad. 3627. That's not bad. We got a purple-pink thing going on. Look at this big old long and wide boy. Oh, I already know what color the body. Is it backwards? No, this is where it has the headlights would go right there. If it was that way forward, that'd be kind of wild. And I cut it up to match the link angle. Yeah, we need to see more of these. It's got a dome. Look at that. Just domey. And we'll get a little bit of involvement, but I built the shocks this morning on 50. 50 is going to be a little slow on the suspension action. Probably should have gone with 40, but I didn't want to do it again. $1 million. I didn't want to do it again. So, honestly, now that I look at it as well, we've still got 4 more holes to stand the rear shock up. It's pretty much right, but I'm not opposed. Front link angle looks great. Rear link angle looks great. We've got we got 70 millimeters at the leading edge of the skid. At the waist is just over 100, like 102. This tire is about a 133, 134, but 165 in the rear. Now 175 in the front. It has 0 grams of added weight. The pinion angles are, it's going to have all the steering in the world. I don't know if the kid is gonna I don't know if the kid is gonna be who's gonna paint it. I might just do it a quickie. We've also got the to cut out over this, and I cut those shock keys down so that they looked more ready. The weight dizzy on it. You know what? It's not in frame, but I can do it anyway. I can find out where we're going to end up. And then we'll low rent it. Ooh, I can try screen share. Would anyone like a Punk's banner? It's very small. They sent me 2. They sent me 2. If anybody wants a, look how small they are. They're not large. If anybody wants a Punk's custom 3D banner, let me know and I'll send you one. Because wall space, from that angle, it looks like a little pink Pinto. I had forgotten that body was here. So when I saw it hanging on the rack, I was like, oh, well, you know, I'll take a look at it. We'll see what we got. And then uncut, I set it down over the top of it, and I was like, no, that's it. That's it. It needs a good paint job. I'll tell them purple and pink. I'll just say purple and pink. They should be able to paint this one pretty fast anyway. I was just going to paint it purple. You know. Because laziness always wins. I can feel the heat of the Furatech through the skid plate. Yeah. I can't really see it. The center of it, I was getting, oh, there's 118. We're not doing anything. It's literally sitting here. Now, my hope is, for whoever is the future owner of this, that it's just some setting like, oh, you need to just turn this thing off. Because that would be great. That's what I would prefer. I mean, I've seen worse. I think the suspension is really sticking here. Because the cross weights look kind of... Oh, there we go, there we go, there we go. Don't move. Don't move. All right. 2344. Why is that? 1307, 1037, 5644, 1168, 1175. That's not bad. For how big it is. 2344 is not. 2344 is not terrible. And the most infernal thing about it is, when it runs great. It just, boy, does it get hot. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. I do believe. Now remember, geometry doesn't matter. So when we move these shocks up one hole, it's not, when I set this back on the scale, it's going to be exactly as it was before, right? Because those kinds of changes to geometry, and we just changed the shape of the triangle. When we change those, when we make those changes to geometry, it's not going to make any difference. Need to see that picture. All right. Still weighs the same. It moved about 20 grams. Oh, well, let's settle it a little better. Yeah, it moved 40 grams from the right rear to the left front. And the rear left, well, no, it pulled 40 grams off the rear. Crossweight's a little less good. But like I said, the shocks are a little slow. Geometry and physics are a myth. That's true. I think I did too good of a job on these shocks. Unless they're barfing. They're not. I did a good job on these shocks. Oh, yeah! $125. End of the can. Well, you know what? The Unity is just the scale version of those 4-cylinder turbos they put in full-size trucks. He's doing his best, man. He's doing his best. Here a car. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Type your password. Voltage, okay. Motor direction counterclockwise, startup power normal, max forward 100, max reverse 75, max brake 100, drag brake 17. Okay, power FOC 10 to 30. Let's go down to 20. That is, you know, if it'll let me save it. Like, I've tried to do the throttle calibration with this thing. I don't know how many times, and it won't let me do it. So, calibrate. Yes. Set 0 speed, click OK. That's where we are. Oh my God, this might work. Drag brake 10. Okay. Voltage output servo is still on 6 volts. So let's go 7. Voltage cutoff 3.4. Startup power normal. Device info, telemetry. Voltage is 11.6. Throttle curve is not set. Punch at 2, neutral brake at 2, low speed at 10. Is that what neutral brake is for the drag brake? Don't forget to turn off over voltage protection. I don't know where that is. Oh, and check for firmware, as someone said. Update firmware. Current firmware is 1.4. They have 1.5. All right, let's do it. How long will a 40 kg red case one on 8.4? Probably forever. Those Amazon servos, they just don't care. Yeah, we'll see after we update the firmware if fire just shoots out the side. Yeah, until the smoke comes out. Yeah. All right. So this should be the thing, right? So drag brake, turning off over voltage protection. I don't know where that is. There's voltage cutoff. There's an ant on me. Battery? Voltage correction factor. So when someone said drag brake to 2 or 3, did you mean on the throttle page? Punch at 2, neutral brake at 2, and low speed at 10? Does that sound right? Is that right to everyone? Crowdsourcing? Is this getting hotter? It's kind of holding steady. It's holding steady about, yeah, it's still right around the 120s. It seems to be behaving itself. And you know what? It's not bad for something that I did no due diligence to. It has, I didn't open up the portal boxes. I didn't open up the pumpkins. There's no grease in the gearbox at all. That gearbox was in the box of stuff. The PBX Hardcore AT is one of only 2 Pitbull tires that have actually done well here. But does it have a drag brake? Well, that's a question, isn't it? I would say so. Where's that board? There it is. You want to know how to get spiders? This is how you get spiders. Hup. How high can we get it? We don't have to get it too high, right? We need it just high enough. Just however high it is, plus a little bit. I'm using all of the foams. All of the foam blocks are used. All right, I'm gonna steal his. I'll bring this back, I promise. Do you know the approximate spring rate for the Wizard springs? I did at one point. We're using Susan here. Susan is, oh my God, the skid is so hot still. It's not getting hotter. If anything, it might be cooling off a little bit. Let's see what we got. Now we're at like 30 degrees. It's not going to be much. It had a tiny little bit of back roll. Okay, so we're at like 30 degrees, and then we can just go up. I mean, it's not wowing me. Any idea when the Blind Guys BRX02 will get built? I'm going to say the winter. Should we build it in the winter? Over voltage. I'm gonna leave it on here for a minute, and I'm gonna see how hot it gets. I have a set of those. Definitely not impressed. Every Proline tire here has been absolutely terrible, except these and the Braven Blood Axe, the really, really thin, the incredibly like 32 millimeter wide ones. Where's my laser? Where's my laser? Okay, it doesn't seem to be building appreciable heat holding it. Did you say 30 degrees? I thought you were dropping Celsius on us. No. 30 degrees would be what? 66%? Okay. Are we gonna hook up again? Update firmware, change password, language, temperature unit, change Bluetooth name, reset factory. I don't know if my app is outdated, but I don't have an overvolt protection setting on my screen. I do like that it's still connected. That's one thing you can't take away from the Unity. It's definitely smooth. But the turbo 4-cylinder in a pickup truck is pretty spot on. And this is the beauty of a Canyon RTR, which is, it's gonna come. I'll get a radio for it. We'll get some kind of radio to put on there. It's gonna go this servo, this power plant, these tires, these wheels, these inserts, because it's an RTR. These might not be the best wheels and tires and inserts and power plant for your situation, but they are inarguably better than nothing. Can I set the board steeper? Yeah, I can use my hand. I go like this. Okay, we got to get on. Unfortunately, I'm holding the board with my left hand. I need to swippy swap so that I can steer at the same time. We would need some grip tape on here. Wood, particularly dusty wood, is not the grippiest. Do I have any left? I've got a roll of grip tape somewhere. Yeah, but not much of it. Probably got about 12 feet left. This would have to be cleaned off really well to get that grip tape to stick. Yeah, it's not really getting hotter. So that's good. Guys, the heat's gone. So all you have to do is turn off a chunk of your drag brake. And that's not awful, right? It'll hold. That's not terrible. It's not terrible. And it might be the perfect solution for this. I mean, look at that little guy. He's just right in there. And he's not that close. The spinny bits are out of the spinny bits. You know what? You know what they say? What do you want for nothing? Problem solved. Fusion 8, probably not going to fit. Taking into account that it is 2,344 grams. I run on my Nessie C3 with no heat issues. I know I'm not normal. No, it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with everything with either the presence of not enough or the outright lack of quality control, quality assurance over at the Furatech factory. The first Lizard 10 that we had here before the Pythons, that Lizard 10 ran great. And then every subsequent one we had got worse. The Pythons ran hot. One of them would constantly overvolt and shut itself off. The Unity, it's warming back up now. So it wasn't warming up sitting on a grade, but now that it's sitting on a flat surface, it's like, haha. I had a Python, it was DOA. Yeah. I don't tell, like, the performance of this, what can we do? Okay, this is above and beyond acceptable. This is well down into the, we're going to make things hot because we're staying in that sine range, right? But it's not that the performance isn't there. Did you set the front links to that length because of the center pumpkin? These are the links from the kit. I thought so too. I was like, 360 is crazy. I have a Python to try still in box. Yes, it's not my answer. But it could be. It could be. It might be absolutely fine. Like, that is the problem. That's the core problem with anything Furatech, and why I continue to tell people I probably wouldn't buy Furatech. Because you have no idea. It might work flawlessly. I mean, what's in a box right over here? I'm definitely telling you, right after I say, whatever you do, don't buy one of those. Buy one of those before you buy one of these. This thing might get hot, but it works. It's holding now. It's holding 90-ish degrees, which is fun. It's 83 degrees in here. So 90 degrees is absolutely fine. So 2344, roughly 28 and a half. It's 82 divided by 16. 5.15 pounds. 5.15 pounds is, I would consider that lightweight for 360 millimeter wheelbase on 5.5 tires. I'm not mad at it. It's definitely a thing. I would love to send this out with a radio link. But we'll see what happens. It's definitely got a decent amount of gusto. I can't believe how quiet it is. With no lubrication. I added no grease to this. None. Because you never know if the pinion is going to be right. I'm going to have to change gears in the pumpkins anyway. Because I think 0-0 is probably not the answer. I think probably 20%, maybe 30%. Because the wheelbase is so long. I mean, you know what we'll do? We'll find out for sure. And the big battery strap is great, because then you can strap all your wires down under it. So that's working out. The amount of heat soaking through the skid is kind of wild. I'd comp crawl it. Why not? Oh, what did that guy call it? Choised? And I would like to put a radio link in it just because I'm lazy. And there's just enough spaces. Choised. Jerry, you can set the record for being the first raccoon to go over a waterfall in a bin. I mean, oh, I don't know if he's here. But, in other news, so this is how a woodworker does it. So this is how we've been getting all of our 360 footage. This guy slides in like that. We've got it's pine. It's not really that heavy. I got the dados out. Schwabaz fits right there. A gentleman was kind enough. He saw what I was doing, and he designed this 3D printed feller right here. It took quite a bit of sanding on the inside, and it's not quite done. But, yeah, see, like it... I don't know if he ground his feet off and wasn't using those little nibs. But, it's lighter. And now I've printed my own. Can you believe it? I've printed my own. And I was discussing with the 3D print people, you know I don't like talking to? 3D print people. I'm there for the information from the 3D print people. The 3D print people, they talk too much and they don't say enough. That's how I'm going to summarize that. Because I printed my own, and this one has no sanding done on it yet. This one hasn't been preparated in any way. And it printed it like this. So this end was against the bottom of the printer, I guess. Like I haven't done any of the cleanup or anything. It's all raw edges on here or anything. It's super, super tight. But it started off, you can see the first amount of layers were great. And then you see how it gets kind of spitty up here near the top? Well, it's because there's a swamp cooler in here that is the only reason that the building's cool. So it's 60% relative humidity. So as this thing was printing, and it took 6 hours to print it, 50% infill. I mean, it came out pretty good. Like, I can print a thing if I have to. But the print quality definitely got worse the higher it went. Because the humidity was just higher and higher. Mr. Lowry, if you're on the Discord, I can just link it. I think it's small enough. I can just link it in the 3D printed section. Or you can send me an email and I can email it to you. Because I have the original, I have the STL that was sent to me by this gentleman. Reese? Mr. Reese? And I also have then I send it to my 3D print guy, Matthew. And then Matthew gives me the G code. So I literally just drag it into a thumb drive, plug it into my printer. The fan blasting noise is back. Just now? Because do you desiccate your filament? This was the first print. Nobody, okay. Remember when I said that the 3D print guys, they talk a lot, but they don't say enough? No one ever told me that like the first thing you need is a filament dryer. I didn't know. I've never dried filament in my life. So I tried to print one of these and it just spit chunks of filament everywhere because that filament has been sitting on the back of the printer for 6 months since the last time I printed something. So I got a filament dryer and I dried the layer and the roll and I put it in there and I printed this and it did great right up until the humidity of the building, which is, as I said, 60%, humidified the cabinet and it started spitting again. So in the winter, because it's the desert winter, it's cold and dry. In the summer, it's hot and dry, but it's hot and dry outside. Inside the building, it is hot and humid. We could grow a fern in here. I mean, 82 degrees and 60% humidity is pretty much a greenhouse. I am printing on a Keedy X-Max 3, and I currently have a Snapmaker U1 in a box on the floor. Oh, when I'm not saying anything, what will happen is, let's see, watch. See, the noise cancellation needs my voice to work off of to set the noise gate. So when it doesn't hear anything, the noise gate just picks up. It thinks that that's the floor. This brrr is just the noise floor. So, oh, there are 1, 2, 3. There's 4, 5. There's 5 fans running in here right now, because otherwise it would be unsurvivable in here at 8360. So when I stop talking, the noise gate resets. It's like gamers, bro. They will set their noise gate threshold too high, and then when they're talking, things will like they don't talk. It will cut their voice out in the wrong spots. So I haven't touched. I haven't touched the settings on this microphone since we started live streaming. I set it in at the base settings. I gave a little tweak to the mid-range and the low range. Tried to listen back to it on headphones to see if it sounded okay. I still don't know if it does. I don't know what I sound like. I can't hear me. Because if I put it on headphones, there's a delay of like, I don't know, 100, 200 milliseconds, something like that. And when you try to listen to yourself on that 200 millisecond delay, it's really unnerving. Like, it almost makes, supposedly you can play a person's voice back to them just offset, and it destroys their ability to speak. Hearing yourself on the YouTube delay is kind of the same thing. Yeah, like being in an echo chamber. Yeah, the software hadn't launched this morning, and I launched it about 5 minutes before the stream started, and amazingly, I'm as amazed as anyone else, it worked. I turned it on and it worked. So yeah, I had to, you can see, it has to be the feet. And because I use these things to hot swap radios, I'm just going to keep going at this thing with a file. Like, this radio's a bit tight. I think this one, oh yeah. I mean, are they different sizes now? I don't, like, that just comes right out. This is a much newer radio. Yeah, it really stops right there. Or maybe the feet on him are just worn down. Oh, that's what it is. This radio has so many thousands of hours of use on it, the feet are worn down a little. I mean, if your radio link ain't this high gloss, you got to get out there. It's like being in a Teams meeting and you hear yourself talking on the coworker's computer. Yeah, and it's like, it's like all kind of out of phase. I built a rig like that for recording out of 1/8 inch Lexan. I went with the Pine route and then was replaced with the 3D printing route, and I knew I would be replacing it with the 3D printed version because I set them on a scale, and this is 100 grams lighter than this. And that was all I needed to see. The weight of this makes me very sad about the weight of my Wheelin' Wednesday apparatus, which is significantly heavier. My radio link is gray now. I've got a sweat ring where my thumb goes. Yeah, that one. I think the trailing radio is like that. It's got the gray right here because I sweat on that one a lot more. Hockey, not hockey, tennis. Tennis racket tape is the. I could just grab it, I guess. Tennis racket tape is the best. Like, there's no way I could carry. This is probably actually the radio that spends the most total hours in my hands, and it just, if you've got giant ape hands, this is the only way to go. See, I wanna sand that second one down, and that'll be for this, because we had the first overheat of the season, and I remembered why. I remembered why later, because my Punks is on this radio, and I had to take the battery off to record with the 360 camera. And that's what happened, and I just never put it back on. So I'm going to mount the battery to that second foot after I grind it down to fit this guy. And then we'll be good to go. I can't use neck straps while recording. Do I have one? This one will do. So the noise canceling will try to stop some of it. The microphone picks up every single, and loud. Because it's generally, the microphone is here, this is here, and I'm here. Or if I've got a lapel mic on, that's closer than my mouth. The microphone doesn't know what it's supposed to be listening to. So the sounds of this, and then my wife, I keep telling her she would be so much better off with a lanyard. She might have dropped her radio a couple times. She can't have anything around her neck Like, if she wears a necklace, it has to be that, like, the thinnest, like a golden hair. My favorite is wind in the microphone. Makes me turn off a video really quick. Yeah, I've noticed definitely in YouTube and pretty much everywhere else, it's audio quality first, video quality second. And this is definitely because I watch all of my movies and TV shows and limited series. I watch all of that stuff on my computer because I have 3 monitors. Why wouldn't I? And there are so many streaming services that won't stream in HD to a computer because they're afraid you're going to record it. So there are some, it's like going back to DVD. And you know what I realized? I don't care. I really don't care. Every once in a while, the wife will say, "Can you put on a movie for me?" And I'll grab a Blu-ray and put it in the old PS3, which is hooked up to the OLED TV. And the picture is so sharp that it is unnerving. It's like what actual 4K looks like. When they talk about full 4K Atmos on Netflix, yeah, nah. Oh, all right. U-turns RC. Why? You've said it, I've probably said it a million times. Why not multiple models on one transmitter? Here's why. This has become a one rig, one radio place because when I'm building something like this, say we build something like this, one of the smallest single expenditures of the whole build is this. These things are like 55 bucks. If they're not on any kind of sale, it's 60 bucks. A Unity 2-in-1's $120. You'll spend $100 on tires and inserts. 60 bucks for a radio or 15 bucks for a receiver, right? So you're talking about a differential of $45. $45 in the theme of a whole build. There have been builds where I've spent $45 on a can of paint. Now there are some radios. This one, so there are definitely exceptions. Bruce, Economoo, Gate Rover, Disco Stew, the Pickle, the Cultra, the Punks, and then the Hardbody 60, which still hasn't been named, because those are all my trail rigs. All my trail rigs are on one radio, and I would never be driving more than one of them at once. We have 3 backup trail rigs that if people want to go trailing with us, like, or when my wife forces the children to do so, we just hand them one of those. But in all the garages, and then we have test fleet. So we have 2 radios. Got Baseline, Wolverine, Woody, Dusty, and Mickey. That's the test fleet. Those are the test guys. Because that's all they do. They test class 1.5, they test class 2, they test class 3. They're the backup for class 1.5. They are the test fleet. Why would I ever be driving 2 of them at the same time? I wouldn't. So those are the sharers. But if I look behind me at garage 1, there's 3 radios hanging from it. Everybody else has a radio for everybody has a radio. All of my Go Fast stuff also one radio on a Radio Master MT12 because I would never be driving 2 of my Go Fasts at the same time. But when I'm building do you still have that Turbo Racing CTO1? It went on a giveaway this year. Within the past few months, the CTO1 was the giveaway radio with one of those. I don't remember which one. The same with Sandy used to be on a hot racing CT8A, I think CT8A, AB, 8C, whichever one. The one with the foot. That one went with one of Frost and Flame, and then I bought a second one for the other one. I can't remember which one got which. And those are pretty much all RC4s, RC6s now. Been watching your tire comparison videos and just finished the tire compound tier vid. Finally decided on green tusks. Huge difference over my previous G8 flat irons. Yeah, I mean, a tusk is definitely... The flat iron was one of my favorites prior to the Baja Pro XS. One Rig, One Radio also presents plausible deniability when someone claims you have no friends. I mean, they can make that claim. That's fine. That's fine. But I had all those nephews nieces and nephews over, and just handed one out to. There was like 5 of them out there. Only trucks that would never be out at the same time share radios. Not going to take a mullet truggy and a leaf spring blazer out at the same time. Yeah. Yeah. And now it's gotten to the point where if it's getting built for the trail fleet, it goes on the trail radio. And if it's getting introduced as a member of the test fleet, it's going on the test radio. And then every other build gets a radio. Like Turistas is on like Model 9 because I just recycle them. I'll eventually go back up to the top, erase Model 1, and then Model 1 will be whatever was tested. I don't even remember who's still on here. So the Choice is on here. The Vertex 10W is on here. And then 2 of the Turista models are still plugged in on here. I count this one as a Turista because it's only going to be here for another month and a half. And you gave me a hard time for having 10 rigs on my radio? Absolutely. I'll still give you a hard time about it. These are $60, but what is the point? Why would I? Okay. It makes more sense for multiple. I'm trying to explain utility to you people. And I said it, you people. Why would I want to attach the Picatinny and the hold shoe and all of this stuff and the tape? Why would every trail rig have its own radio? I'm never going to drive 2 of them at the same time. They're all going to use this radio, which will have this clamp just like this, and then the microphone adapter is up here, and the cable is up, and the apparatus is attached. Every trailing rig does the same job with this radio. The only thing that I would do is what I should do is get another carbon fiber tube and make a shorter version of the apparatus, which would hold the GoPro right about here, probably about 16 or 18 inches. Because when we go to a place like Pirates Cove, the 3-footer is way too long. Half the time I'm holding the radio up next to my head with the thing down, because a lot of people seem to forget that it's... People seem to forget that this is the apparatus. Can we get the whole apparatus in one frame? Just barely. So, how do you get those low angles? I just discovered this, by the way, which this is a lifesaver. You go like that, you go like this, and then you go like that. How good is that? So this is why there's multiple rigs programmed to that one radio. Because otherwise, I would have to set this up to multiple rigs. And then the like I say, the receiver is right there, and then there's a little coily guy that goes onto that. Because what we do is we use the lapel mics, and then I just pipe that audio straight into the GoPro, and then most of the time it's unusable, either due to background noise or whatever. And then I have to do all of the audio sync anyway. So yeah, the apparatus. So when this is down near the trucks, here's where the radio is. It's touching the microphone. So I need to build another of the pipe section that's like probably that long. The tube, because I would just unthread that and thread it in over here, the tube needs to be like a foot long. Just needs a metal detector loop on the bottom. Yeah, you can hear us both at the same time. That's true. I'm very lucky I only have one thing 3 feet long. Is it a dog? Do you have a dog? Dogs are 3 feet long. I accidentally drove 2 at the same time once when I forgot to unplug the other. I did that once before I was using ID seed as much as I do now. And it didn't work out well for me because the dig, one rig had dig and the other one didn't. And that channel wasn't configured correctly for the dig on Model 2. and it just locked the dig servo all the way over and burned that servo up. So it was an entertaining escapade, but it ultimately cost me about $20 because I had to replace a dig servo. Yeah, metal detector on the bottom would be amazing. So yeah, I'm going to shoot for September for that. And we'll just count Mr. Hurley as August. Easy. Easy stuff. Yeah, like the stream. I don't know what it does, but it feels good to know that it's happened, you know? I'll take whatever I can get. What is on the... it's pretty easy. Each one of my 6 rigs still has its own radio, as I lend them out to buddies for trail days. Hell yeah. Any more insights, discoveries on Enduro DRX since your last quick view? I feel like, man, more people ask about these. They are absolutely fine if you want to run them on a rock crawler. I would not recommend them for trail use at all. Due to Endura rolling their own and going their own way with their own size shafts, their own size seals, their own size everything. They just bespoke the hell out of it. Yes, they are, what, $25 a set? The difference is you can buy a set of 2 mods for about the same price, and the 2 mods accept all Traxxas parts, all of them. Seals, pistons, you name it. So you can build a set of 2 mods to be every bit as durable and reliable as Big Bores or GTS. So it's the form factor and the appearance is the only thing. Like, if you want to put them on a crawler, that's great. They come in a variety of sizes and they are inexpensive, but I would not expect any kind of durability or reliability from them in a trailing application. For that, I would definitely recommend more heavily towards the 2 mods. The DRX are fine. I desperately wanted them to end that trail session and have some of their oil still in them. Maybe you could have started with a metal detector unit and added a radio and camera to it and kind of already made a rig. Yeah, and they have like a forearm rest too. Yeah, that would have been nice. Oh, I do have a Patreon now, which is just like this, only it's different, I guess. I don't know. Because YouTube is appearing to be transitioning into a phase of punishing their own creators, and the AI will ban you after they determine that you've said or shown something that they don't like. Nitro Pimp fills up his GT5 model memory and then gets another GT5. I think he's 14 GT5s. As far as I'm concerned, that's 14 too many. The GT5 just fails from an ergonomics standpoint for me. I mean, it's probably a lot due to the Gorilla Mitts. And it's the reason why another channel has one up, but I still haven't done a review on the RC8P. And I'll just tell you right now, there's 138 people. And I'll tell the 138 of you, I don't know if I'm going to do a video on this. I don't, dead. I don't know if I'm going to do a video on this, and here's why. I don't think I'm in a qualified position to do so. Because I have been tinkering with this, and I handed it to the wife, and in a full, that's what she said moment, my wife took this in her hands and said, why is it so small? Because she runs one of these. She runs an RC6 just like mine. I want to see how long the cover tape will last on it before it'll fall off. This is the only one left. All the other ones are gone. This one's still on here. So she is used to this, and this thing is for, Sawtooth Turner uses one of these. I use a bunch of these. This thing is comical. Look where my finger is. Look where the trigger is. I have to hold this thing like this. Like I can't hold this in a comfortable position. Just ants everywhere. This is unusable to my hands. I handed this to my kid, the painter, who really basically knows nothing about these things. And their first comment about this was, you can't do anything with one hand. And I was like, the kid knows nothing and gets it. Like, what is this? What are we doing with that? It's like hidden under a ledge. Now, there's some of it that I love. This is a knob and also a button. That's great. Who's using this? That's the button that you press when you set it down, I guess? You can't. This is a button, by the way. Same issue with subcompact pistols, you give up too much. Now, if you were using this purely as a trail radio, I could see it. It has a nice finger rest ledge right here. Or children. Children. Like, you could get, like, do you see this switch right here? How about this one right here? Look what... Ergonomics are something where... Button. Knob. Trigger. Wheel. If I'm holding this, there's this one. Here's this one. Do you see how I'm not letting go of the wheel? And then, how about this one right here? Button, 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 button. A big part of it is that I've gotten so used... The guy gave me $50. Paint supplies fund. How'd you know how fast we were going through paint? If they would have just blown it up by the scale of 2, it would have been fine. I have a children. Like, if you have a 10-year-old, 8-year-old, whatever, like, if... I know my hands are big, but, like, why is this so small? Yeah. Ian Novak? Here's the thing. That's probably my best option. Pair this to the receiver in her purple and have her run it with this radio and see what she thinks. That would be the thing. It's just, I knew it was going to be small because they announced that it was going to be a compact radio. It's so... What other radio can you do the trigger safety? I can pull to full throttle with my thumb. It does do, but like, look at the... I would not, look, I would not be opposed to my RC4s and RC6s. If they said, oh, the new RC4, RC6 is going to have a menu that looks like this, I'd be fine. You know, I'd honestly be fine. But I don't need the full color, although of all the full color displays, like, look how off axis you can get and still read it. I'm not, and it still has the, it'd be even clearer. I'm not mad about it. Yeah, you could concealed carry it. I'm not mad about it, but with these, I'd never noticed that I can. It's just too small. It's just too small. So handing it off to the wife and having her give her capsule evaluation is probably going to be the way to go. So what we'll do, here's what we'll do. So for this month, we won't need to spin a wheel because it occurred to me. September, October, November, December, that's 4. And I also want to take at least another one to Proline by the Fire. My plan was to take 4, and then I took 3 to the other event. That's the thing. It's whatever they did on the display, it's readable. So the giveaway is still going to be like 6, like 6 more. Get her to do a full quick view on it. Oh man, get her to break down all of the. I don't think it's the IR60s this week, so maybe next week we'll. I'll trick her into doing impressive display, but I too have Gorilla Mitts. If you don't already have a radio link, get yourself like. What other radio? I could fit one. I can literally fit one more finger. And look, my trigger finger is in a relaxed position. Here's my only beef. See this there's a little ledgy. It comes down right there. If that little ledgy, if that had a little more contour on it, but most people don't have these, and I understand that. We've definitely been through this before. If you take your thumb and go, hey, and then you take your other hand and go like this, your thumb and your pinky will be right about the same length. It's this weird thing that nature did, but not me. My thumb and my index finger are the same length. I know that looks, even to me, that looks super weird. So I have to deal with these at all times. Arr. All of my rake handles have like bicycle grip tape on them. Broom handles have tape on them because I can't grab the small. That was almost a tip. That was almost graphic. Small broom handles ain't comfortable. Spirit fingers. What's a spirit finger? My pinkies are crooked from being broken. If I do I don't think any of my fingers. This one goes. This one goes. Yeah, they've all been murdered up. MLB pitchers would die to have your hands. I got a baseball roo. Yeah. Baseball's small. And they make other things look smaller than actual size. Yeah. Yeah. My pinky is a ½ an inch longer than my thumb. What? If we're going at the same joint. Right about there. Yeah. Can you do the yogi and hold 7 baseballs in one hand? I don't think so. Thank you for answering, Swampers. I don't like asking questions like that multiple times. Oh, the giveaway question. I kind of gloss over them because the giveaway will probably be. I just remembered I have a calendar on my phone. Let's shoot for the 11th, the week of Labor Day. Let's shoot for September. Oh no, that's 9/11. Wait, is that the 25th anniversary of 9/11? Oh. Giveaway on 9/11? So this guy for 9/11, he'll be painted at that point. Wow, Friday 9/11. I guess we could do it on. We could do it on the 4th. We could do it on the 4th. This will be ready on the 4th. Because, let me run this past you. That's the holiday weekend. That's, Labor Day? Labor Day. That's Labor Day weekend. The wife is at Anime San Diego on the 4th, 5th, and 6th of September. So we can just, I don't know what I have planned. That's nearly a month away. But we can have the Infinistream. We can stream for hours on September 4th because it'll just be me and the eldest, and the eldest doesn't do anything. Like, I never even notice he's home. So with the wife and the youngest gone, nobody will be bothering me. I was in high school when 9/11 happened. Wait a minute. 2001. So that means Mr. Turner is like, is he in his 40s yet? Yeah. 25. Maybe. What part of high school? Live stream from the San Diego Model Yacht Pond. Oh, I ain't going. I've already been. This was not negotiated as part of my contract. I was in my second year of college. I was already out of college. Oh, he just hit the big 4-0. Yeah, I was just before kids. Yeah. 57. Oh, I'm allowed to say that's old. Someone said you sound like Randall Carlson. I don't know who that is. I think you sound like Seth MacFarlane. I've gotten Seth MacFarlane more than once. I've heard that before. I don't hear it. When I hear him being interviewed, I don't hear it. 65. The man from Simi Valley is 65. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know if I'll make it that far. Well, that's the thing. You can't say do a Brian impression because most of his voices are just his voice with some intonation on it. When you get excited, you get his vibe to your voice. Ah, yeah. But does he look like... Who the hell is Randall Carlson? Trying to work out how where time went as 57 as well in December. Yeah, I don't know. I never thought I would have made it into my 50s. Here I am. I never thought I'd have adult children. Or children. Say Will Wheaton. Now I can't unhear Seth MacFarlane. Well, I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse. And I will admit, as I stand and speak now, I can't remember what he sounds like. Crushinator voice? Well, the old farmer says, "Go get him, Crushinator!" And the Crushinator says, "No, Pa, I love him." Or something to that effect. I think I sound a bit like AVE. Eh? That is where I got Hazard Fraught. The best voice is when I say, I believe. My I believe is just whoever does, it's probably Dan Castellaneta, whoever does the John F. Kennedy voice on The Simpsons. You know, because the mayor, the mayor, because the mayor is obviously just a Kennedy. I believe. One day I'm going to drive to California for the only reason but to visit the canyon. Well, we'll take you. I thought you were trying to sound like Kennedy. I'm trying to sound like Mayor Quimby, who sounds like Kennedy. Yeah. Dad was born in 39, me in 69, and first born in 99. Oh, you're doing it old school. You can book visits? Yeah. Anybody can come by. All I need is a day or two of notice. Anybody is free to come by. I would recommend not stopping by here between, say, June and September. As we move into October, you're great. October, November, December, January, fantastic. February and March, we get, this is the desert. We get 20 days or fewer of rain every year. That is how a desert works. So rain is never really a thing you're going to have to worry about, except the computer guy did indeed show up on a day when it rained like the bejesus, and it never, and then the next day after he left, it was crystal clear. Yeah, August is definitely not the month to show up, unless you like 105. Where are you located? I'm in Canada. Well, you're far. I am in Southern California, the Inland Empire of Southern California. If you look at a map of the Inland Empire, I'm in there. I'm right towards the mountain. If I look that way, Mount San Gorgonio is right there. And if I look that way, it is all the smog from the LA basin. I had to take a phone call. What was that tiny radio? That is the RC8P. If you are small-handed, this is the new one from Radiolink. It is super tiny. Could definitely fit in a pocket. Are you close to Death Valley? Not super close. In California terms, yeah. Because, you know, I'm closer to Death Valley than I am to, say, San Francisco or Eureka. Near March Air Force Base? Yes, indeed. Mr. Truitt is very near March Air Force Base. March Air Force Base is about, 25 minutes? 25, 30 minutes? And that's only because of the freeways. As the crow flies, March is probably, 14, 15 miles away. I haven't had rain in some time now, to the point where we have a hosepipe ban due to low reservoir levels. Man, that's the opposite of Tennessee. Yeah, it's near Death Valley. Yeah. Everything in Southern California, it's like we're near LA. She's doing all right. You know what? I'm going to get a coffee drink. I'm going to trick my wife. Nobody alert her. She comes with me to go get my coffee drink. When we go to get my coffee drink, I'm going to make her go to the new Harbor Freight that they just opened over in Redlands on Redlands Boulevard. I'm going to go to the Harbor Freight because I have these little tilty bins. I need to get 4 more of this size of tilty bin. They're like $5 each. So I need to buy 4 of these tilty bins, and I might trick her. Bob sent paint money. I might drop by the Home Depot and get some more paint. Do you get fancy coffee at Eliano's? No, I go to a place called the Clatch Coffee. I do live on the other side of the planet. I just got a coffee drink. It was great. Oh, mine is going to be great. Headed over to the Hazard Fraught with my coffee drink in hand. 8360 is where we're at. Oh, my compressor is quiet. My compressor is older than some people in this chat, as I bought it in the year of our Lord, 1992. My compressor is 34 years old. That is crazy town. My table saw is not quite as old. My table saw is from 1996. So my table saw is only 30. Back when they made things to last. Yes, but my compressor only starts when you start talking. That is true. It knows. Well, somewhere in this building is a micro leak that trips the starter to go off and refill the pressure about once every, I don't know, maybe 4 hours. I'm never going to find that. Do you have any idea how many fittings? There's like 200 feet of hose running here. I'm never going to find it. So we're just going to let it leak. So I'm going to, you know what? I barely have anything to put away. I need to put this guy, who will probably get named after he gets painted. We got to put him up on a block because those super soft foams would absolutely flat spot. And we'll schedule that for the 4th. And everybody have an absolutely fantastic weekend. There's videos on the usual days. We're trying to cut back. No, I'm trying to do a no doubles. I don't count Tuesdays. Tuesdays are the days where I throw, Tuesday's the catch-all day, the day for like 12-minute and 15-minute videos. But we're aiming for the usual amount of content stuff, quick views, and it came from the workbenches. And at some point, we're going to start building, that 6x. I have all the parts accrued. Look how, like, he'll never be that glossy again. It's pretty good. I'm out. We out. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for everybody who contributed their time, their patience, their monies, all of those things. It all spins back around and gets turned into dumb, tiny toy cars that go slow. Some get given away. I should have elaborated more on the Patreon thing, but we'll get to it when we get to it.